Hey guys, if you enjoy the Drunken Peasants podcast, be sure to go to audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to get your free audio book. They have books like The God Delusion or Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. Also, 150,000 other titles to choose from. So be sure to check that out. It supports the show and you get a free audiobook in the process. So what the fuck do you have to lose? Tacos.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up. I want to marry a guy and a babe.
What the fuck are you talking about, atheist?
I'm a bisexual.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be liked.
You're garbage,
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast, where we DP the fuck out of the news. I am Ben, your lord and master, and next to me is my little monkey man, TJ.
That's not
Thank
fair,
you so
man.
much for tuning in. Shut up, monkey man. I did not give you permission to talk yet. And with us today, we have a very special guest.
I don't know if he's that special.
He's like,
well, special in the helmet sense.
right.
Wee.
Like that short bus picks him up in the morning.
Yeah.
He's the one that, you know, like you're waiting to get on the bus and they have to like extend the ramp for and everything. And you're like, fuck, man.
Right.
Razor.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2015. A sex
Razor
worker.
Fist. I'm trying to introduce you. Razor Fist. Razor Fist! It sounds... You sound like a Mortal Kombat villain or enemy.
Yeah, I sound
or
like
whatever.
something you pay. No, I sound like something you pay $200 for down on Hollywood Boulevard. Is what I sound like.
Okay.
But
I'll
God
have to
fucking speed.
I'll have to
I'm
take your
here.
word for that, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm a little more seasoned. But,
Yeah.
God,
You've been
God
around the
fucking
block a
speed,
few more
folks.
times.
I'm here. I've come. Well, not yet, but
I have $200, so
we can make that happen.
after the show, you got to show me what the Razor Fist is all about.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'll have to get out the glass coffee table. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So how did this all start? So, TJ,
What?
you
How did
tweeted
what all
him?
start? What are you talking about?
This bullshit between you and him.
bullshit. What
Yeah.
bullshit? Oh, okay. I know you're talking
So
about.
you guys had some sort of exchange.
It wasn't
back
really
along.
it wasn't really an exchange. He made a video against me and I pretty much agreed with it. So
But hold on, didn't he make a video because you said you tweeted something to him or something like that?
no, I didn't tweet. He was one of the tweets featured in my video. Idiots react to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah.
and he said, I don't even remember what he said, but he said something, and I took issue with it. But I took issue from the perspective of thinking like he was some like Christian, because I just got his tweet on a news site. It wasn't like I actually went to his Twitter and got it from there. And basically, so I approached it from the perspective of like this is a creationist Christian detractor of Neil deGrasse Tyson, but he's actually not a creationist, or
Yeah.
I don't think a Christian either. So,
Yeah. I'm mostly just ambivalent, honestly. But yeah, I took issue with it because you got it from a website, right? Right? You just randomly.
no,
grabbed
I
it
mean,
off.
right? I got it from a website.
Right. And so like I just watched this video and I'm taken out of context and I was like I was kind of pissed when it happened, right? But I think you were also sort of the unfair recipient of a bit of unhappy circumstance on my part. Like, I don't think that rant would have been like 1/5 as acrimonious were it not for the events that took place between when I saw your video and when I finally had a chance to sit down and record the rebuttal. Because, like, in the interim, I endured a motherfucking decathlon of frustration, misdirection, and like delayed gratification. I could not get a chance to record this video, right? So I'm pacing back and forth. I'm freaking furious. And then finally I sit down and I go off like Hitler in front of an adoring throng, right? I just fucking, I demolished. I went off. So, but anyways,
So
I was pretty pissed.
Is that how you see yourself there? You see yourself as like a dictator over your audience? You're like Hitler.
You know, take out the tater possibly, but no, I just kind of went off. I was like, Lebensraum, bitch.
I want to play your video because I actually, I did laugh at it.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
yeah, we'll just play it in its entirety.
Are we just going to play it uninterrupted?
If you want to comment on it, that's fine. If either one of you want to comment throughout it playing, just speak up and I'll pause it.
All right.
The Amazing Atheist called me out this week. Funny, I had thought I heard my banana phone going off.
Okay, yeah, cheap heat there, man.
Well, it's
You
Yeah.
gotta
banana-
set the tone early. You gotta
the
set
low-
the tone early.
the banana is a low hanging fruit in this instance.
Ah, I see what you did with the produce pod.
Right.
The proverbial throwing of the Cheeto-caked gauntlet came in.
What's up with the Top Gun sunglasses, by the way?
What is it up with them? Jesus Christ! Come on. You can respond to. Oh, you got innocuous tweet by yours truly, deriding Neil deGrasse Tyson for his preachiness and facial hair in fairly comedic fashion. But let's address
I want
to
to put out there that I still vehemently disagree with you about your assessment of Neil deGrasse Tyson's mustache.
Come on,
I mean-
let's not blow it out of proportion here. It ain't a Selleck stash. It's not even a Bronson stash.
I am
right?
not saying it's even on that level. And by the way, Nietzsche had both of those guys beat. So, but
Well, if we're gonna dig back into history, we can get into General Burnside if you like.
yeah, we can go back. But you know, his mustache is awesome, and mustaches should be encouraged generally. Even though I shaved mine off because it was annoying.
Yeah, I don't think he's 1/5 as similar to Lando Calrissian as he thinks he is. That's what I think.
Why Lando Calrissian?
Billy D.
Was that?
Because he's growing the exact same kind of mustache, and also the purple cape.
Yeah, the cape is pretty awesome.
According to you.
How dare you call Neil deGrasse Tyson's mustache cheesy?
Yeah.
Number one, you're right. That mustache isn't cheesy. It eclipses cheese. That fucking thing is sour cream. It's the kind of mustache that comes with a wah-wah pedal, assless chaps, and a pizza boy. Second
What's
off,
wrong
believe
with
it or
that?
not, given the
Yeah.
I'm still not hearing anything against the mustache. So
I'm just saying.
maybe
man.
you and I are just coming from different value systems here.
I think you're coming from a place where other men lick your face. I think
Yes,
that's where
that's
that's
good.
coming
Yeah, he did literally just come from that place.
I did.
from. Or in that place.
Well,
Anyways.
both. He came
Yeah.
from it and in it.
I came back from that place after they took out the tater. So
That works. Timing? My tweet wasn't actually in response to Neil deGrasse Tyson's Christmas Day rant. I didn't even find out about his Yuletide escapades until after I posted the tweet in question. I simply saw a bunch of people were discussing the man on Twitter when I logged on, and decided to chime in with my 2 cents, as I'm never one to miss an opportunity to take pot shots at a confirmed and proven fraud. Simple fact is, I don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and neither should you. So he's an astrophysicist, so is Brian May, and he plays a better guitar solo. Fuck Christmas Day. Any given day the sun rises is ample opportunity to justifiably deride the man and the cult of cunt flappery arrayed around him for being obnoxious dolts. I've had it up to 5 yards above my head with a slavering horde of encephalopaths on the I fucking love obnoxious science Facebook page as they erect spontaneous statues in this hack's honor on an hourly basis. He has been caught fabricating education statistics out of thin air, caught generating fake quotes from major world leaders, and perhaps the most egregious sin to the comedically inclined such as myself, he was caught stealing jokes. Famous ones, and crediting himself with their creation. He's an egomaniac who lies to justify his egomania. That is, however, the full fucking extent of my issues with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and
All
you
right.
turning a blind eye to...
So, all right, we actually, to surprise you, to have a rebuttal, we have Neil deGrasse Tyson here.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, we don't actually. We don't. But
Yeah. I figured. I'm like, this is like the weirdest episode of Punk'd ever.
Right.
no, but so what's up with all the Neil deGrasse Tyson hate? I've never heard. You're the first person I've ever heard.
That's not
talk
like a
about
creationist.
That's ever like I've never heard any of these allegations made before I watched your video, to be honest with you.
Look, and up front, like, I'm not an expert on this by any means. I read a few articles and it worried me. There's been a series of articles written on kind of a right-wing website called The Federalist, where they were kind of breaking down, they were going through a series of speeches that he had given across the country, and just sort of like looking at common knowledge. Like, they didn't even have to really fact check all that much. They pretty much just used common knowledge. Like, he misquoted or took George W. Bush. He misquoted George W. Bush, I believe. Like, just pulled a quote out of thin air that he never said, and there's no record of the president, the former president rather, ever saying that. And there's just kind of a series of these. It's been going on for quite a while. But for the record, like, the video wasn't even really about Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, if I'm wrong about Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, oh well, like, boo-hoo. I don't really have a dog in the fight. If Neil deGrasse Tyson's a great guy, fantastic. Let's throw him a fucking party. But the main issue I had was with being taken out of fucking context. That was the main issue. So.
Sure. But you say in the video, like, you know, I don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson and you shouldn't like him either. But now that I'm pressing on it, you're kind of like, well, I'm not an expert. I read some articles, there's like some patterns. I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're not really showing the same degree of confidence here that you are in the video you made.
No, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't have a dog in the fight with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, he was never the primary subject of the fucking video. I mean, I said, like, you shouldn't like Neil deGrasse Tyson either. And by the way, like I said, usually I work from a fucking outline when I record these videos or whatever. Like, I have, like, points or what. I told you about this. Like, I have, like, bullet points. And this time, I literally sat down and turned on the camera and was just like, that's what came out. I was so fucking pissed.
Right.
Like, but anyways, I completely, like, I still believe 100% that Neil deGrasse Tyson's a fucking plagiarist and a goddamn liar and whatever. Like, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is if someone has evidence to the contrary or whatever and I'm wrong, I don't, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change what I said in my video, so.
Sure.
Whatever. But anyways, yeah, there are a series of fucking articles. And to all the gibbering fucking homunculi who are coming back with, but that article was on naturalnews.com, you blow it out your fucking ass. Natural News, like, linked the story from, like, 4 other places, one of which was goddamn CNN, so just shut your fucking yap.
What is Natural News?
It's some bullshit, like, homeopathic, like, right-wing, like, they're just a couple rungs down from Alex Jones. Like, they ran a story about how autism's caused by flu shots or some horse shit like that, right?
Right.
So, like, I get people being skeptical because honestly, I pretty much just grabbed the first, because I knew the headline already, you know what I mean? Because I'd already read the story. So I pretty much just Googled and looked for the story and screen capped the first one that popped up. But the story is not actually from them. It's from somewhere else.
Okay.
So
let's move on with this.
Is no different than a Christian turning a blind eye to the fucking dinosaurs. Being an atheist doesn't make your ignorance any less willful. And worst of all, he fabricated those statistics and quotes as a means of preaching and proselytizing to bolster a worldview that may or may not be accurate, but which any educated person now has to find at least somewhat suspect, given the fact that he felt the need to lie his nuts off in order to advance it.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is preachy as a televangelist. The difference between Neil deGrasse Tyson and a televangelist is Neil deGrasse Tyson is actually putting out information.
Hate to piss on your cornflakes, Tej, but lying in order to hoodwink an audience into accepting your points of view? Yeah, I'll take things
Just so you know, cornflakes way too bland for TJ. He has to have, like,
goes all out with the Lucky Charms and shit.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles.
Oreo O's. You hear they're bringing back French Toast Crunch, don't you? I mean, that's... Yeah,
I'm there. I'm fucking there.
TJ,
yes.
There's actually a funny serial story about TJ.
There is not. What is there? are you talking about?
When
anytime you bring up this man and food, it gets sketchy.
well, TJ was recently weirded out by the color of his fecal matter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see, you're like, what are you talking about?
that's true.
And then he was like, oh yeah, I ate like what? How much? What was it?
Well, it was an entire box of Fruit Loops in a day. That's pretty much all I ate that day was Fruit Loops.
He ate an entire box of Fruit Loops in one
And
day.
then my shit was like lime green.
That is like the worst like Tibetan yogi diet I've ever heard of. Fruit Loops, the all Fruit Loops diet.
Yep.
But I did lose weight. No, I didn't. But
He lost weight after you took a shit.
yeah,
Yeah, a couple pounds.
Yeah.
just a few.
Continue, please.
Evangelists do for 500, Alex. Nothing preachy about televangelists, right? And if you're one of the many
All right,
conscripts,
I mean, like,
of
I just want to
Tyson
say,
temple-
like, but I mean, like, okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, I've never looked into the plagiarism stuff at all before or since this, but I would say that even if, you know, maybe he plagiarized a few things, the vast majority of what he says to people is verifiable. You can go and just, I mean, the research is not hidden or obscured. You can just go look at it. Anyone can just go look at it.
I think a lot of that has to do with the vapidity and fairly innocuous nature of what he says. You know, it's shit like,
Sure.
you know the
But-
Earth orbits the sun? Like,
Right,
thanks.
but the thing is, I mean, like, but the thing, I mean, he goes a little bit more, he goes a little bit beyond that. But I mean, the thing is that there's so many people in America that just have their heads in the sand when it comes to even just the basic scientific facts of the universe.
Right. We have them on our show here all the time. We have, you know, young Earth. We have young Earthers. We have flat Earthers, hollow Earthers,
There are not
geocentrists.
flat earthers. What are you? Are you serious? Like, there are literal people who argue that the Earth is flat.
There
Yes.
are, yes, and actually, Galen, one of the frequent guests of our show, his brother was I guess until very recently a flat earther, and by the way, also a navigator on a nuclear submarine.
Yeah. So
sleep well.
He's navigating a nuclear submarine and believes the Earth is flat. I believe that would fuck up his navigation somehow.
How in the age of supersonic travel, or even of air travel, could you argue, like, what is their argument? Yeah, the Earth is flat, but we're all on a conveyor belt. Like, how does it come around? Like, if you leave from Japan and fly long enough, you'll end up in Japan again. So, like, how does that argument work exactly for them?
I don't know. Go to the Flat Earth Society website and check for yourself. They have commonly asked questions there where they explain their rationale for why the Earth is actually flat. But I've actually come up with an interim theory that kind of bridges the gap between the flat earthers and the round earthers, which is the cone-shaped Earth theory. But when you see the circle of the Earth from space, what you're actually looking at is the ice cream on top of the cone.
That makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, you know,
think
it resolves all of the problems with the round Earth theory, and it addresses the valid points made by the flat Earth theory. So
Hey, it makes more sense than the theory of the patriarchy. Continue.
law order, who dismisses these verified instances of plagiarism and fabrication as immaterial due to your belief in the person expressing them. Yeah, I hate to tell you, but the word for that is blind faith, and you don't need me pointing out the sky-rending irony of someone who prides themselves on skeptical atheism displaying that attribute in defense of their belief system. For the record, even if I were of the faith, I don't know that I would find his tweet all that anti-Christian to begin with, and here's why. Because as you pointed out, even the most part-anus, insert thumb, evolution denying, homo-lynching, TBN contributing, Jesus camp counselor knows that Jesus of Nazareth wasn't fucking born on December 25th, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate.
I disagree with that. I've known quite a few people who believe that December 25th is the literal birthday of Jesus.
Here's the thing. You got to understand my background a little bit. I've talked about this on my show a little bit. I do a lot of volunteer work. Like every other summer or so, I'll do like a volunteer trip. And not like minor shit like, oh, I'll work at the food bank. I mean, like Dominican Republic, Romania, Japan, like somewhere. And this is on like my personal time, obviously. Nothing to do with my channel. Hence why I don't mention it that much.
Did you ever go to Africa with Mr. Repsion?
I did not.
Okay, just checking.
I've done this since like junior high. Like it's just kind of something I've done. And in a lot of those situations, when you want to go on volunteer work, whether you're Christian or not, you wind up having to hook up with some Christian group. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of the only groups that go into a lot of these places. So I don't know. In my experience, even though I'm not Christian, I've been around a lot of Christians and not like casual, you know, the kind who are willing to go into a minefield and open up a soup tent, like those kind. So, and in my experience, I haven't encountered anybody who doesn't know about Jesus not being born on Christmas. Most of them tend to regard it as like being a symbolic date or blah, 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 even though ultimately, I believe, historically speaking, they pretty much just co-opted the Yuletide holiday, basically.
It sounds it sounds to me like you've been around a slightly higher caliber of Christian than the ones that are mostly rambling around this country of ours.
Well, they're not on their asses watching the Christian network, so yeah, I suppose an incrementally higher caliber, definitely.
I mean, if you'd like, we can bring G-Man on and you can talk to him. Maybe that'll change your opinion.
No, we're not. We're not bringing G-Man on. Just don't even play like that, Ben.
I'm just.
All right, Ben. You and Razorfist here have to get better acquainted for a second because I have to go for a personal matter for like a minute.
I don't know. Your personal matters usually take a lot longer than a minute. Well, we'll play a little bit more of the video here.
Alrighty.
Via the description of your half-assed video, festooned with lazy jump cuts being reflexively lumped in with Christians.
Can I pipe in for a moment here?
Yeah, sure.
Can I just say fucking jump cuts are the laziest shit ever? Now, I like Amazing Atheist, and I actually enjoy his show, and the reason why his jump cuts don't bother me is because I realize watching him speak that he can do it without jump cuts. But jump cuts are like the laziest fucking shit. If you are doing a channel on YouTube and you can't make a fucking point without jump cuts, if it's literally a crutch, don't. Go get public speaking classes before you buy a webcam. Like fucking, they're $100 at a community college. Like seriously, just fucking do it. But anyways, continue.
I think that's a big reason why we started doing this show is so that we could, do something off the cuff and not do something that's heavily edited.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll have a jump cut here and there if I have video corruption or if I just wind up going off on a point that I don't like or something. Like, I'll do it here and there, but mostly I like my videos to be like uncut from beginning to end.
The thing
what
is,
are we talking about?
Jump cuts.
Jump cuts.
The thing is though, I mean, you look at popular people on YouTube, they use the fuck out of jump cuts.
I try to not do it too much, but I mean, if I fuck a line up, or like sometimes I'll just cough between two lines, or I'll just pause for a moment to think about what I'm going to say next, and I don't really feel any need to subject people to 20 seconds of me sneezing or some shit like that, So
I don't know. I think there's a section of your audience that might get off on that. It's entirely
maybe I can release it in a special extended edition Blu-ray package or something.
Yeah, you could have all the outtakes. You in full leather bondage apparel, screaming the word verboten.
It'd be less interesting. It'd just be like me standing there wearing a dirty T-shirt, picking my ear, and then looking at the wax,
and then eating it.
No, I wouldn't eat it.
Don't lie.
I wouldn't eat it, Ben. I'd wipe it on you.
Fuck. All right. Do you want to play the rest of the video, or do you want to move on?
I don't care. Whatever you think is best, Ben. You're the man. You're in charge.
I am. I really am.
Dominate me, Ben.
Fuck no, dude.
Make me watch. You already do. You make me watch fucking horrible videos and react to them. It's already that kind of relationship. I'm getting off to it, Ben.
So it's kind of like
the more you make me watch The Vigilant Christian, the bigger my little dick gets.
It must have been pretty small to begin with.
Oh yeah.
It's like a penis pump for the soul.
It goes from a tic tac to a thimble, Ben. You do that for me, buddy. You do that for me.
Or at least gumdrop sized. At least.
But not quite as hard as a gumdrop.
Here's a video. We'll just play a little bit of it because it's really long.
No, we're gonna play the whole fucking thing, Ben.
No way.
We're gonna play the whole fucking thing.
No, we're not. No, we're not, TJ. Shut the fuck up.
All right, I'm
know
sorry.
Your role.
I'm sorry, man.
Today, we are going to talk about yet another facet of cultural Marxism, which is brought to you by our great friends at the Frankfurt School.
So already...
What does this guy get, the Frankfurt School newsletter, or what the fuck?
I don't know.
Who the fuck is locked into what's happening on a daily basis at the Frankfurt School?
And that is the issue of gender identity. According to cultural Marxists, and as a consequence, according to liberals and feminists.
Marxist?
Yeah, cultural Marxist.
What is the... I don't know, what is it about Marxism that if you add cultural before it changes the meaning? Because
I think more to the point, what about Marxism doesn't affect the culture? Like, wouldn't the cultural be implied?
Right, that's what I'm saying, is like that's already part of Marxism, so why cultural is like an unnecessary modifier there.
Yeah, no clue.
And leftists who want to push socialism and Marxism on the Western world. According to them, gender is a social construct.
Strange.
Gender is not something that you can determine just by looking at a person or looking at their reproductive organs. The only way you can know what somebody's gender really is if you ask them, because according to the liberals, gender is on the inside. Like if you
know, the really ironic thing is, when this first started, I was trying to figure out the gender of this person. I was like, is this a dude or is this a really angry lesbian?
He is kind of androgynous.
I know, that's what I'm saying, and yet he's making this case. It just seems ironic, but whatever.
Like a man, you're a man, and if you feel like a woman, you're a woman. It doesn't matter what your reproductive organs are. It doesn't matter what your sex chromosomes are. It doesn't matter what your DNA says. It doesn't matter what your bone structure is. If you feel like a man, you're a man, and if you feel like a woman, you're a woman. Now, if you think that this sounds completely ridiculous, then congratulations, you're not completely insane.
My thing about that is like, okay, well, if you put a human brain into like a duck's body, that's still a human, because that's a human consciousness. Obviously, a human brain's not going to fit in a duck body, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't know, Rob Schneider. But anyways,
Rob Schneider's not human to begin with, so that doesn't count as an example.
They put animal parts in him. You like that? Little animal reference? Sorry.
I'm just saying that human beings are defined more by their minds than anything else. I mean, if you replace every other part of a human with artificial components, you're still going to consider it a human being. So I would say that really nothing else does matter. If someone's brain is female but they happen to inhabit a male body, then I would say that it's fair to assess them as female, but that's just me.
Because you'd have to really be insane to believe that gender is a social construct and that it's something you decide for yourself. To be completely blunt, and I am blunt on this channel,
I don't believe that gender is a social construct, by the way. So I actually agree with this person.
Well, you need to go back to liberal school and learn.
I'm sorry. I know. That's someone was asking the other day on Reddit why so many people hate me, and I think it's because I don't ever want to side completely with anybody. And it seems like if you want to fit in like the conservative camp, you have to have this, and this view. If you want to fit in the liberal camp, you have to have this, and this view. And if you cherry pick it all and say, well, this is a good idea, but this sucks, then it's like you don't fit in with anybody. That's just like you're wholly rejected by both sides constantly.
Yeah, no, it's like being Striper is what it is.
Right.
You're too metal for the Christians and you're too Christian for the metalheads. Yeah.
No such thing as
apt analogy.
Transgender or transsexual. You're born the gender that you're born the sex that you're born. If you have a penis, if you have an X and Y chromosome, if you have male DNA, if you have male bone structure, you're a man, and ditto if you're the female equivalent of that. If you have a vagina.
What if you have a clitoris that's so gigantic that it could be a penis, or a penis so small that it could be a clitoris? Is that like a middle ground? Or you have like both, you're like a hermaphrodite, you got like a penis and a vagina. What then? Can you just decide on your own then?
Well, then you record this video, apparently. I don't know what the fuck this guy
That's true.
I stand by your earlier assessment. I'm not sure what in the fuck this is.
Yeah, I think that's enough of this, Ben.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't see what else can really be said. I mean, the arguments have been made. I don't foresee any sort of like compelling or even particularly fascinating thoughts being offered up by this person.
All right, you asked for it.
Oh, God damn you, Ben! You son of a bitch! Oh my God, why? What's satanic this week?
Have you ever watched these videos?
I've never even heard of this cat, so this
Okay.
is
Oh, well, you're in for a fucking treat, buddy.
If you notice, the intro is so fucking epic. Wait till you hear his actual voice.
Oh, dude, it's got better production values than the last one.
Hey everyone, it's Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of
The production
Illuminati
values
Media
end there.
Exposed. In today's video, we're going to be looking at WWE Tag Team The Ascension and how they are using Illuminati symbolism to once again program the masses in preparation for the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of these guys who's like, oh, I saw an eyeball way in the distance, Illuminati imagery.
Yeah, everything has Illuminati imagery.
What is
The guy
okay?
who sits there, the guy who sits there diddling himself with the magnifying glass on the Michael Jackson Dangerous album cover. Like, oh, fucking.
All right, hold on. Let me just give you a brief recap of the things that he has so far said are satanic and Illuminati. There's been yoga, The Simpsons,
Yoga flame. It's a satanic flame, right?
The
The Simpsons, Family Guy, Disney princesses, pretty much anything. Pretty much fucking anything.
Yeah, I don't even know why he leaves the fucking house. You know, everything is fucking satanic. Everything. Credit card debt is satanic.
Yes. Credit card debt is satanic. This is another tool Satan uses.
So now, because these two guys, these pro wrestlers who probably don't even choose their own wardrobe, this is, you know, they're part of the Illuminati too. These guys.
They're using this like I think that's like the Eye of Ra superimposed with the weird little pyramid thing.
Yeah.
That's on the dollar bill, and some people say, "Oh, it's an Illuminati symbol, or it's some Freemasonic symbol."
Is it the Eye of Providence? Something like that?
Yeah, the Eye of Providence. I've heard it called the Eye of Ra, or I think I've just heard people some call it the Eye of Set, and there's a few different little things around it. But I mean, like, this is a popular symbol in our culture that you see.
Well, you haven't listened to Mario's argument yet, TJ.
But I mean, like, you know, I mean, I mean, he's not quite as bad as this other guy, Gorilla199, who goes around and saying that literally any logo that contains a circle or a rectangle or a triangle is a UFO symbol. But but I mean, like this. I mean, like, what's more likely, that this is an Illuminati plot, or that they're just wearing that to look like a certain image that was selected for them by fucking Vince McMahon or someone else?
Oh, please, it's WWE. Nobody can fart sideways without the company's approval, for Christ's sake. So let's not.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
that.
I mean, this is not even their choice, and even if they're I mean, it's if they were really trying to get Illuminati symbolism, wouldn't they put it all over like John Cena or someone that was like big? You know, yeah. They would have Cena come out with the fucking eyeball in the pyramid, and he'd be like talking some like New World Order type shit. Well, there's New World Order means something else in wrestling, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And no one. Yeah, and no one ever brought that up back then. Was there just less crazy motherfuckers like the Vigilant Christian back then?
Yes, there were a lot less crazy motherfuckers.
I don't know. There weren't less of them. They just didn't have as much access to mass communications tools.
Okay, well, let's hear Mario's argument. We're trashing him, but we haven't even heard it yet.
All right, we need to give it a
guys.
fair shake
Come
first.
on.
That's true. Fair
so
shake.
Here you have the actual tag team, and this is the t-shirts you're commonly going to see them wearing, is the Illuminati eye in the pyramid. Now, for those of you who follow this channel regularly, this really shouldn't surprise you. The WWE is another tool that the Illuminati use to brainwash the masses. It's another form of entertainment.
Oh, and by the way, when the Ultimate Warrior died earlier this year, he made a video saying that WWE murdered the Ultimate Warrior as a blood sacrifice.
Blood sacrifice.
Yep.
Apparently, the Illuminati are really into blood that has a really high testosterone level. Steroids and shit. I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
In our culture today is being used to brainwash people to prepare them for the Antichrist and his New World Order. If you haven't seen my previous videos exposing the WWE organization as being absolutely sold out to the Illuminati, you need to check out these 2 videos that I'll leave linked up in the description section for you to check out. The first one is WWE Wrestling sold out to the Illuminati, and the second one is a conspiracy theory surrounding the Ultimate Warrior being offered as an Illuminati blood sacrifice by the WWE. So definitely check both of those out. They're in the description section for you to do so.
Can I just say, like, it is an achievement. Have you ever seen an Ultimate Warrior promo?
Yes.
Like, it is like uncut black tar bat shit, right? Everyone knows it, right? He's completely out of his fucking mind.
Right.
It is an accomplishment that this guy somehow is able to eclipse his crazy. Like, am I...
Shove the control into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan!
Dude, this one-ups the nosedive, run over me with lawnmowers promo by a country mile.
Should I go to Africa and let them trample me with raging elephants?
Yes.
But I just wanted to make a quick video here today to show you, once again, WWE is being used by the elite, the Illuminati. Vince McMahon, guaranteed that guy sold out a long time ago. Even if you hear insider information from the athletes, the wrestlers themselves, the guy's a wretched, depraved individual. He's evil. He's been caught with so many things against the WWE, like giving steroids to his performers, and caught with all sorts of things with harassment, sexual harassment charges against
He
McMahon,
wasn't okay.
like
For the record, like, Vince McMahon's a dildo, but like he was not caught. He was not caught giving steroids to the performers. And actually, when they took him to court and the entire government went after him, he wound up being acquitted of that. So if we want to go on the legal record, he was actually proven not to have ever given his performers steroids. Now, they may have done steroids. They may have even been encouraged to. We don't know that. He may have paid off everybody. Who knows? But we know that in a court of law, at least, in a legal sense, he did not give his fucking performers steroids.
But of course, the courts, you have to realize, are controlled by the Satanic Illuminati. So
I'm fairly certain Vince McMahon did steroids himself.
Also, as an aside, is he never going to point out that they're wearing skirts? Like, is that not going to happen? What is that? That's like a dick flap on the front, or is that a...
I think it's supposed to be like the Egyptian, like, I don't know, what would you call it, like a loincloth, I guess?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with dong flap. That's where...
Dong flap.
I got to get me one of those. Maybe if we order them...
We call it a dick doggy door.
We'll wear them on the next show. I'll do the whole show standing up just for that reason.
You know who had a dong flap back in the day?
Who?
Tatanka.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
This has become a wrestling podcast.
I know. And we weren't even aware that he watched wrestling. Yeah. Yeah. We watch newer wrestling basically, I guess, cuz we're masochistic like that. We watch.
You would have to be, man.
We do. We watch it to be like, oh my god, that was so fucking horrible. Then we laugh at it, and then we keep watching.
There's like there's occasionally. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, there's occasionally good moments, but you do have to sift through like a mountain of cat shit just to get to like one nugget of fucking gold.
Yeah. John Cena cat shit.
Mostly,
yeah.
But what were you saying a couple weeks ago?
Oh, no, a couple of months ago, speaking of wrestling, I was actually on the podcast of Vince Russo. So I was interviewed on his podcast.
Oh, really? Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Related podcasts and so forth.
Wow. Yeah, Vince Russo. That's pretty badass.
He's a popular cat in wrestling, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, head writer back in the day. So
The guy just shows by his actions where his spirit truly is. He is after money, fame, the things of this world. So he has no problem joining Satan in an agenda to use entertainment, in this case wrestling, as a form of mind control for the masses. So now these guys come out and they're...
When he says Vince McMahon is like hooking up with Satan, do you think in his mind, like, is that just Vince McMahon is just doing bad shit and therefore it's like an implied covenant with Satan, or are they actually like having meetings and shit where like Satan's showing up in Vince's office like, "Mwahaha, Vince, I want you to create a new tag team called the Ascension and deck them out with Illuminati symbols to brainwash the masses. Mwahaha, it's a brilliant plan."
Yeah. Can I just say, like, compared to some of the meetings that Vince McMahon has probably had in real life having nothing at all to do with Satan, a pact with Lucifer is actually kind of on the lower end of the evil shit he's done in his life. You know what I mean?
The devil's actually like scared of Vince, like cowering in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, Satan, I haven't told you about Mantar yet. Mantar
No, he almost got Linda McMahon elected to Senate, so that's bad enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Name, first of all, is the
That
Ascension.
surely would have
right
fulfilled
off the bat,
some
that should
biblical
give us
prophecy.
an indication as to what they're trying to convey. Ascension is an act of rising to a different position or a higher level. In the Illuminati, they ascend. They go to high levels.
He ignored the second definition that he had there on the screen. which refers to after Jesus came back to life, he didn't die, he ascended into heaven. And I kind of think that's where the name came from. I
don't know. They don't seem like super Christian wrestlers.
No, but it is, you know.
Maybe if they were like wearing crosses and their finishing move was like final revelation.
Well, I think
something.
the Illuminati would have a problem with that. So
They actually had a guy like that back in the day, right? Mordecai. He was around for about a day and a half.
Yep. Yeah.
Power, and they get different positions. So they are telling us that through the Illuminati, they have been able to ascend, to rise to an important position or a higher level. So this team literally shows us, hidden in plain sight, how the entertainment industry works. They're showing you right there to ascend.
I just want to say that
get to an important position or a higher level.
I just want to say that the journalistic acumen on display here is just unimpeachable.
You know what's kind of crazy? These guys cut a promo the last time they were on TV, and they talk shit about the Road Warriors, and a lot of wrestlers got really pissed off about that because one of the Road Warriors is no longer alive, and I guess you're not allowed to draw heat, you know, when it comes to dead wrestlers. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
unless it's Paul Bearer and you need to hype up the Undertaker's feud with CM Punk.
Yes, that is true. That did happen. A lot of people were pissed about that though too.
I don't think it's. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's theatrical. I mean, it's not supposed to be taken seriously on any level.
Yeah. So I think we'll move on.
Why, Ben? Don't you?
Are you
fucking,
sure this is? I mean,
we need to delve deeper into this. You know,
Yeah.
this is make or break shit, Ben. We gotta get to the bottom of this fucking mystery. You know.
Let's peel more layers of the onion here, buddy.
Well, I actually have a video that I'll use on the next show from Mario about how the Legend of Zelda is satanic.
Of course it is.
But
Mario bashing Zelda. What does the world come to?
Yeah. All right. So, this next one is entitled Something You Didn't Know About Science.
Finally.
What about it, YouTube?
Ah!
Whoa.
All right.
Loud.
The YouTube channel How Stuff Works posted a video titled 4 Scientific Words You're Probably Using Incorrectly. It's a very telling video because if you pay attention to the video...
What is he driving through? Is he in Mordor? Like, what? How is his drive that bumpy?
I don't know. I kind of assume he's like on a train or something.
Yeah, or he's like driving a truck.
I don't know. I mean, it just seems very bumpy wherever he is.
Or he's in one of those Gravitron machines at the fucking fair. Like, I don't know.
Well, then he'd be plastered against the wall, you know.
Yes.
He could do the video upside down at that point.
The speaker says that science cannot prove anything, that all science can do is graduate opinions. So, right away quick, science has turned into nothing more and nothing less than a religion. By that definition, by that admission. You get a bunch of guys together that come up with some dogma, and then that dogma gets graduated to be canon law, based solely on their opinion.
Can I just say, like, this definitely seems like the proper forum to address something.
Right.
Right. I'm driving an extremely loud vehicle that makes a lot of obnoxious noises. This is the perfect opportunity for me to whip out my cell phone and address these
I heard him
points.
shifting gears, too, so he must be driving like a semi or something.
Yeah.
You know, driving the big haul of diapers over to Walmart, I think it's time for a treatise on science, folks. Let's do that.
I love his idea of science as like this canonical fucking opinion-based thing where it's like all the scientists got together and then whichever one talked the loudest and had the idea that most of them thought sounded pretty good, they just vote on it and say, you know what, that's science now. And that's the scientific method. It's like, what? That doesn't describe reality in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure that's not how science works.
I mean,
That actually is how religion works. So, I mean, if he's going to call it a religion, then if it actually worked like that, that would be fair, but no.
20 billion different denominations, actually, is probably how that would work. But, no, I just don't understand how you can look at the way that science works right now. Look at the fucking debate over global warming, for fuck's sake. Like, how many different scientists are on, like, 9 trillion different positions on that issue? Like, it just doesn't...
It snows places. It snows places, therefore global warming is not real.
Well, no, there's what I'm saying is there's obviously scientists who argue about this. There are scientists who say that the whole solar system is warming, and therefore that's what's responsible for it, or blah blah. You know, there's different philosophies on it, is what I'm saying. So he's wrong.
So it's by its own nature a religion. Its opinions graduated to a state of canon. Canon for the religion of shit happens. So
the religion of shit happens.
The religion of a shitty T-shirt you buy at fucking the mall for $15. Like, what the fuck?
It does kind of summarize the nature of existence,
right?
Though. Shit does. That is, you can't deny that. Shit does happen.
If you take like a standard religion that's based upon the belief in God, that's based upon the reality that shit doesn't just happen, that there's got to be a cause, and for there to be causality, there's got to be something that intended for reality to exist.
Why?
I'm not sure there are nearly enough stilted pauses in this, by the way. I don't think. I don't think that the argument is being made effectively. Like, what the fuck is with this guy?
Well, he has to time his speech pattern for the bumps in the road. So
that's fact.
And you know, I mean, it's kind of I like when people just say like you can't have this without that, but then there's no argument that actually links those two propositions. Like, oh, you can't have causality unless someone intended for something some time ago, therefore God. It's like, what? How does that follow? You can't have causality without intent? What do you mean you can't have causality without intent? Causality happens without intent all the fucking time.
Well, yeah, like, and argue not only that, but okay, there could be any number of theories that prove why that is without there necessarily being an intelligent design. You know,
right?
Arguing for intelligent design is a completely different argument. So make that argument instead of just jumping to fucking conclusions. I think.
But I mean, that's it seems like there's a lot of the arguments that I hear for God are all like this very God of the gap type shit, where it's like, oh, well, there must be God because otherwise, why would a sunset be so beautiful, or some shit like that? And it's like, what? That doesn't even follow. That's a non sequitur. There's nothing to do with those two things. A sunset can be beautiful, and there's still no God. You don't need God for a sunset to be beautiful. You don't need God for causality.
Well, I'm pretty sure sunsets are probably pretty beautiful on Saturn, too, you know what I mean? But fucking God didn't put humans on there if you believe in God, you know what I mean? So
with that basis in mind, they seek out their dogma in order to better define a course of action in life.
I feel like the reason he's pausing so much is because he's not speaking the way that he normally would. I think he's trying to affect a certain manner of speaking because he wants to seem like he's like got a strong grip on this subject matter. So I think he's like basically like affecting a different means of communicating. You know, because he probably is normally when he's talking. I mean, like I guarantee that he doesn't talk like that when he's asking, you know, for a bag of Cheetos or something.
Yeah.
You know, give me that bag of Cheetos.
Oh, by the way,
I'm just thankful that he got the patented up the nostril angle on this. I think that was a good design choice there.
Yeah, you know, I want to, you know, I feel like, I know this isn't a movie, but Oscar for best cinematography, maybe. I'm just saying.
Roger Deakins, watch out.
We need this.
We have breaking news from the Church of Gayle.
Do we?
Yes.
Is our new friend here familiar with the Church of Gayle?
I did see your last podcast, so I am familiar with the Church of Gayle.
We don't have to fully explain then, so let's put Gayle on the screen so she can inform us as to what's been going on.
Okay, folks, I'm going to tell you what happened to my men at Church of Gayle. The sentient taco and burrito were on their tail, and they just shot out their communications array, and then I told Terrance to try to go through the sun. So they decided, Terrance ran down the hall to tell Vladimir about my idea of going...
Vladimir Putin is who she's talking about.
Yes.
Going through the sun, and they went in, but had to fly in a zigzag pattern because the tacos and burritos also went in behind them. They didn't burn, but the tacos and burritos didn't burn, but just got all crunchy, delicious, and fried looking.
I mean, like, I don't understand. I'm so confused by Church of Gayle because I feel like but no, I mean, some of the things she says makes me believe like she has to be aware that she's talking nonsense and she's having a joke at our expense. But then I hear Brent Spiner himself talk about how he's been followed and harassed by her for, you know, more than 2 decades. So it's kind of like, I mean, like, I have to believe that there's some genuine issue there. But the only thing I could think is that there's a genuine issue, but she's exaggerating it for comedic effect because I can't.
I tell you what, man,
I can't believe. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. I can't believe that she's just like literally believes that like a taco and a burrito that were sentient followed her starship into the sun and they got all crispy and delicious. Like
guys, this is where Ultimate Warrior gets his promos from. This is where they're from.
Put the burritos into the sun, Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
It all makes sense now. That was the missing puzzle piece all along.
Kept shooting hot sauce and beans at Church of Gayle inside the sun, and they were apparently strong enough to withstand the sun's high heat. It was really hot and bright inside the sun.
Really?
They were traveling inside the sun just below the speed of light. They wanted to go fast so that they wouldn't lose their shields inside the sun. That protected them from the sun's heat. And that coronal hole...
The tacos have shields, or is it the spaceship? What has shields exactly?
Okay, so the Church of Gayle is a spaceship run by Brent Spiner and Matthew McConaughey. And and it has all the technology that the Starship Enterprise would have.
Gotcha.
And the taco and burrito are sentient beings sent after the Church of Gayle spaceship by Zach Knight, who is a Jesuit Illuminati Antichrist.
I don't know if she's ever said Illuminati. Has she ever said Illuminati?
Okay, no, I threw that in there.
But
sorry, Gayle.
I don't know, guys. Finally, a religion that speaks to me.
You know, and it makes sense. Unlike so many other religions where you have all these lingering questions, Gayle really leaves no room for doubt about the authenticity of her stories.
True.
But you've seen in the news at the sun's south pole, that was caused by all this commotion between Church of Gayle and the sentient burrito and taco going after them in the sun.
Yeah.
And then when the
finally a plausible explanation for what was going on there.
Escaped through the sun's south pole, they carried a trail of the sun's radiation behind them that caused the very brilliant aurora borealis, which we saw over northern Russia at this time.
All the pieces fit together.
I always wondered, you know. I remember looking up at that aurora borealis from my my timeshare in Russia and thinking, you know, I'm thinking that's probably an interstellar taco and a fucking hamburger or whatever the fuck. I was thinking, you know, I had my suspicions.
There's also a giant semen bomb that the Jesuits want to drop on various cities around the world. It's known as the New Cocky.
Yep.
So, yeah.
She's very clever with the portmanteau.
I know.
She really is.
They felt like they were in the sun a long time because of the time dilation.
Right.
And they couldn't focus on fixing communications after the burrito and taco took out their communications array.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
When they went through the sun, they barely had any shield left and thought for sure they were finished. Just one bean from that giant taco or burrito and they'd be gone. But to their amazement...
Just one bean. One bean would have made the difference between destruction and salvation for the Church of Gayle.
It's so weird because in some of her earlier videos when the Church of Gayle is being attacked, they're using like photon torpedoes and shit like that. But now it's fucking Mexican food that's being used.
Just a single bean could destroy it. So that means, like, if I was floating through space and I had a can of beans and I took a big spoonful and just flung it at the ship, it would have been destroyed.
Regular or refried? I mean, we have to establish consistency here.
Frijoles negros.
It doesn't even matter.
The taco and burrito seemed to have lost interest in them and headed straight for the moon. And it seems that all Jesuit creations have an obsession with the moon. And
this is where Destiny gets its plot from. Now I get it. I understand. Did either of you play Destiny? Never mind. Sorry. Video game reference. I apologize.
No, I think you played it, right? Or did Scotty play it?
I played it, but only very briefly before it lost my
There
attention.
was literally a line in the game where the robot that flies around you says, "The wizard came from the moon." I think Destiny may actually be a video game representation of this theistic philosophy here.
I don't know, but this should be a video game. I really think it should. I want to fly around in a church/starship dedicated to a crazy woman living on Earth that fights sentient tacos and burritos by flying through the sun. That sounds like a game I would purchase.
Yeah. Day one.
Thought that the taco and burrito were headed for me. They didn't realize they were going to the moon, so they chased them even to the peril of their lives because their shields were down, and one bean from this...
Oh, by the way, people in the chat are calling for Galen versus Gayle on the Drunken Peasants. Just want to throw that.
I don't think Gayle would come on our show.
No?
She says that we're Jesuits that work for Zach Knight.
No, we're not.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we're not.
Right. Not Jesuits.
Not us. At all. Not us.
We're atheists, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
True.
Burrito would have taken them down. But even though they left on January the 3rd and didn't return until January the 7th, this was because of time dilation. They went through the sun just below the speed of light to keep from being burnt to a crisp. You cannot do warp speed or quantum tunneling in the sun. Tunneling. It's called tunneling, which apparently corrects the time difference when you travel this fast. I do recall that Terrence Jenkins once told me that when they travel at warp speed that they have to adjust for the time difference or they'll land on Earth in the wrong time period. So though they were actually in the sun for 4.642158142617450
She's not doing this. She's doing that.
She's like making this exact calculation.
She knows.
She's like calculating pi on video. This is amazing.
Right.
Well, this adds a lot of credibility because, she shows that she has a solid grasp of the scientific material present here.
For pretty much my whole life, I've been a pretty big Star Trek fan, but this is Star Trek just delivering more entertainment to me.
More than the last film, anyways.
Yeah.
Star Trek plus mental illness equals awesome.
She should write the script for the next Star Trek film.
I'll tell you what, man. You say it seems like she's in on it. I'll tell you what. I believe she's 100% genuinely mentally ill, and that's because I have encountered a man exactly like her. I encountered her mate, in fact. I used to work in a comic store, and there was a guy who would come in regularly who was every bit as crazy as this woman.
Was it Brent Spiner? Because Brent Spiner is actually her lover.
I've heard that. I've heard that. No, this guy, he would always have some wacky invention that he was trying to make, and so we wound up calling him Latex Fur because he invented a fur coat that would transform you into any animal, right? But it was made of latex.
Okay.
And we're grilling him on it, like on the boundaries of this new technology, right? Like, can you turn into a bear? Yes. Can you turn into a wolf? Yes. Whatever. And then we're like, can you turn into a lobster? He's like, no. And then he glares at us.
Whoa, taking it too far, man.
Why would you even ask a question like that?
Why would it turn you into a crustacean?
It doesn't even make any sense. Why would it fucking turn you into a lobster? Man, I have half a mind to just fucking be angry right now.
Take this case straight to the burrito and the fucking taco. I mean, Jesus Christ.
They are my overlords.
369-615-369-0430.
She's still going.
731 seconds. In other words, between 4 to 5 seconds.
Why didn't you just say that?
They actually spent about 3 days in there in our time.
Oh.
You cannot do warp speed inside the sun, so they had to travel at just below the speed of light. And because they had to approach the speed of light, time slowed down for them and passed faster for us, which is why it took a few days, when we viewed it from our perspective. They said that they can usually skip time dilation by using warp speed or quantum tunneling, but inside the sun, this was impossible.
The quantum tunneling. Sure.
Yeah, the first time we covered her, we found a video where she said that the Jesuits uploaded malware into the supercomputers on the starship that was causing all of the men's penises to turn into vaginas. Yep.
Yeah. I believe that malware is called Justin Bieber. I believe that's the name of it.
I feel like, there was going to be an 8th season of The Next Generation. I think Gayle should have actually written that.
Yes.
Because she has some pretty good plot lines. I would have liked to see a scene where Picard was, looking down at where his penis used to be and, crying.
And he would do that, the old school Picard, no! No! Like that.
Sounded more like Mike Myers, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A line must be drawn here!
Here!
There you go.
What is it you want, Q?
Slightly closer. I've had enough of this.
No, you haven't. You can never get enough of it, TJ. Oh, you mean
I will be right back in just a moment, fellas.
Sure.
Okay. So we just sit here and twiddle our thumbs until he comes back?
Thumb twiddling time.
Da-da-da-da.
Fuck
it. We'll do it live.
You can't stop them.
There's no words there.
And I never had any sex with my parents.
Yeah, you
I mean,
did.
I had oral sex with my father. It lasted about 2 minutes.
Ha! Funny. Aurora Borealis.
Oh. Earlier, when you were resting your arm behind me,
yeah,
people were like, "TJ's rubbing Ben's back. Look at that shit." We do like to have a quick sauna before the show starts. Actually, you know.
Yeah. It's magical.
Yep.
All right.
Welcome back. So, Jefferson Bethke. Are you familiar with him?
I'm not. No, absolutely not.
He does kind of like slam poetry, like Christian slam poetry type stuff on the internet. But this isn't a poem. This is just a video he made basically saying that porn is human trafficking at your fingertips. And he's going to present his argument as to why that's true.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
This is Anna. Wait, don't click to someone else yet because Anna's
I wasn't planning to. Her bra's not even off yet.
And while you can walk away, her image is
don't click away yet. It's like she's not even fully naked. Of course not.
There's a good chance recruiters lured her with flattery. Perhaps they baited her with cash. Maybe they even tranquilized her with date.
Wait, hold on. Baited her with cash? Isn't that called like our entire capitalist system?
Yeah. Isn't that? Or perhaps she just needed a few bucks for a burger. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like, is it? I mean, like, this kind of like has a very dim view of like women in general, where it's like you can't even make this decision, and if you fucking decided to have sex on camera for money, you were baited. It's like, okay, so like let's just throw like the idea of female autonomy in the fucking garbage can and piss on it. I mean, like this, if there was such a thing as like patriarchy, it would be like encapsulated in the attitudes of fucking bullshit like this. But luckily, no one really takes this all that seriously.
Oh, dude, this is like Sarkeesian logic 101.
And if Anna's like many others, she stays sedated with alcohol, weed, or coke to numb the pain. Chances are she
or just have fun.
Yeah, because those three are all, you know, totally equal. Alcohol, marijuana, and coke.
2 out of 3 of those are in me right now. So, and the third one, the only reason the third one's not in there is because I don't have anyone to sell it to me. So.
STDs and HIV because she's denied access to protection. We don't know what she.
Just make some porn, TJ, and you'll get all the coke you need.
Sweet.
You like how she doesn't have the power to make decisions, and this fucking cursors are literally like hair, or like a fucking marionette.
Just drag her around. What the fuck, put her where you want her.
Because we only see Anna smiling, and they keep showing Anna smiling so that you'll keep watching. See, pornography is integral to human trafficking and prostitution. In 9 countries, almost half, 49%, said that pornography was made of them while they were in prostitution. This generation fights sex trafficking more than anyone ever has, and more than anyone ever has, this generation consumes porn. Fighting human trafficking and then watching porn is like protesting a corrupt politician and then donating to his campaign.
Hold on. But I mean, like, the thing is, you're not really telling us what countries these are.
Right, in a lot of countries, prostitution is legal.
Right, so I mean, like, it doesn't even have the stigma there.
Well, not only that, but this is such like these are such pseudo statistics. Like we're
right.
Like these aren't even like percentage. He's literally just plucking. This is actually kind of the same thing that I was talking about with Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he'll say something like, "Fucking, a half of schools are underperforming." Like, and he doesn't cite where it's from or whatever, and that's kind of what's going on here. It's like,
right?
Did you know that everyone's a unicorn? Like, oh, of course, gotcha.
Right. I mean, there's no real proper sourcing. He's not telling us what these countries are. He's not telling us where this percentage figure comes from. I mean, is that an average? I mean, is that a median? We're being like given a very small and obviously cherry-picked amount of information.
Yeah.
You browse privately, going from Anna to Zoe and back to Anna. Watch your favorite fantasy and then walk away. But Anna's still there. She's stuck there, stuck in this life because you click. Each click, each link, each URL visit and play button, this is the currency of porn. This is the price of Anna's life. The $100 billion pornography industry is fueling the appetite for children as well. Teenage girls now make up...
Children.
Whoa, that was a bit of a leap. Where did that
was a quantum leap. That was a leap through space and time.
Yeah, Scott Bakula's like, what the fuck, dude?
All right, let's just be like, okay, so what percentage of the $100 billion porn industry is child porn?
Well, seeing as how it's illegal in most countries, very small percentage.
Right. So, I mean, he's trying to make this direct connection, like, oh, this is a big part of this industry is like children.
Not part of the legal industry of pornography.
And you know, like, even if we granted him every fucking point, it's like, couldn't we just be against certain types of porn and not others? Like, okay, I'm against the porn where it's like human trafficked shit. I'm for the porn where it was a consensual decision made between adults. Like, couldn't you just, like, is that just too fucking nuanced? Like, we can't possibly accommodate that position?
It's hilarious, too, because he could take a much more obvious position like, hey, being in porn is probably not the best life choice, and probably have made a more effective argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
Instead, he has to make it this big conspiracy where, like, fucking fat cats with giant cigars and high-back chairs stroking a Persian cat are deciding, like, fucking women are going to be in porn. Like, that's not how that works, dude.
First we'll enslave the women, then we'll get the giant penises to fuck the children, and then we'll have, you know, giant animal child fuck fest with slavery, and everything will be just pure evil and sadism at every corner and turn. And we'll make so much money, and no one will be the wiser. The entire world will support us unwittingly. Mwahaha!
Said Obama.
All right. Apparently the porn industry is like a monocle and a moon laser away from being like Bond villains.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's where that's the direction they go with the next one.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to
come. By definition, is considered trafficking. The demand for porn fuels the trafficking industry, and you can take away that demand. You can cut the cord on this machine. You can bankrupt the system. You can empty the pimp's pockets. You can free Anna by simply refusing to click.
All right, I'm not gonna do that. You know, even if I was like completely, look, I'll be honest, even if I was like completely 100% convinced by every argument, I would still click at porn because I still need something to look at when I'm hard and there's no one to fuck. So that's just the biological reality of my existence and the existence of many others. So fuck you.
Before we move on to the next video here, just want to remind everyone to hit the like button. For those of you who are not watching live, that'll end up watching the show later after it posts. I'm going to post an annotation to subscribe to our channel. We got our channel back after that bullshit false strike that we got, which is wonderful. Feel free to support the show through our Patreon, patreon.com/DP. Anything else you want to say, TJ?
Nope.
No. God,
you're not going to make a DP joke, really, after that porn bet. Seriously?
Oh, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. It's like nonstop.
Okay, there we are.
Yeah.
It's almost like it would just be stock at this point.
And by the way, we hit a record number of peak live viewers during our last show. Something like 4,500 live viewers at max.
You could say we DP'd the fuck out of 4,500 live viewers.
There you are. Excellent.
We new cockied them.
That needs to be a hashtag. Hashtag new cocky.
New cocky.
I don't know what it would be used in association with, but I'm sure whatever people gravitated towards would be interesting.
I'm sure it would involve some cartoon chick with a half-off bra being dangled around like a fucking marionette by cursors.
That works.
All right, so this next video was sent to me.
No, it wasn't, Ben. You're a fucking lying piece of shit.
Actually, I recorded the video and published it myself, and now I'm gonna play it.
Glad you came clean.
This has to do with women and tattoos and how it's evil for a woman to have a tattoo.
Finally, someone has the courage to speak the fucking truth.
All right, today we're going to talk about women.
Oh my God.
Tattoos. Now, what does the Bible say about tattoos?
Okay.
Was this was recorded on like an old phonograph or what's?
Not only that, but like, what is God's stance on French kissing your microphone? Like,
you talk about tattoos.
God.
Well, the Bible says Leviticus 19:28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. No print any marks upon.
Shut up, because Leviticus is full of rules that no one follows.
You follow all of these rules?
Anyone who fucking cites Leviticus better demonstrate to me that they follow every ridiculous rule in Leviticus. And usually,
what, you mean like after you jerk it, you don't burn your clothing afterward? You don't. That's not a thing that you do.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to grow crops of different kinds in the same field. You're not allowed to mix the fabrics of your clothing. You're not allowed to fucking have. Well, gay sex is obviously out because that's like the most famous example. But I mean, like
period sex too.
Right, period sex. That's bad. No blood is lube. Can't do it. But no, I mean, like this Leviticus is like literally the book of stupid, arbitrary rules that no Christian follows. But then, if they can find one that they just agree with for some personal reason, they're the first to trot it out and be like, "See, God said,
I am the Lord." The NIV specifically says, "Do not put any tattoos upon your body."
You know the mic is too close when you can literally hear someone swallowing. Like, gulp. Like, only in porn should I be able to hear that noise.
Now, why does God not want us to get tattoos on our body?
Because God's a repressive asshole.
Back in the Old Testament, when you had a tattoo on your body, in general, it was a representation of the God that you had served.
I wonder if anyone has a tattoo of Leviticus 19:28 on themselves. Seems like a good idea.
I knew a guy who had Jesus tattooed on his forearm, and when he held his hand, like his fingers facing towards the floor, it looked the right way, but in class, because I went to high school with him, when he'd raise his hand like this, he'd have upside down Jesus on his arm. It's pretty funny.
That's pretty satanic.
Yes. Illuminati!
For instance, if you worship Dagon, the fish god, you put Dagon's fish tattoo on your body. If you worship Molech, then you would print Molech's symbol on your body. Which basically causes a problem for us as Christian people because the Bible says
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Like a verbal firing squad here.
That's before me, which is your first commandment. Now, when you put a tattoo on your body, whether you realize it or not, you are actually making a blood covenant with a demon.
Oh.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, that was totally out of left field.
Really, like, that's the best representation of a demon? A hand coming out of a mouth and grabbing your face? Like, and by the way, how is that image not like a V8 commercial? Like, seriously.
I think it looks more like a scene from Alien.
It's kind of funny. The person who sent me this video, her name's Kira Rose. She has a YouTube channel, and she's a girl with a bunch of tattoos, and she said that some guy sent this video to her.
Like, as if it were actually persuasive.
Right. So,
I mean, like, my favorite thing is, like, everything he said, he's gone so far off of the scriptural verse that he quoted that it's ridiculous. Like, he's making assertions. Even if you believe the Bible is true, there's no evidence in that verse that says, "Oh, a tattoo is a covenant with a demon."
And I sincerely doubt in the original fucking Aramaic or whatever they actually used the word tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, probably it was some sort of reference to scarification or some sort of tribal bullshit from back in the day. I don't imagine they had a lot of tattoo parlors back in the day.
Oh, well, I mean, tattoos are pretty old.
Oh, no, I know tattoos are pretty old, but, you know, it's definitely not a reference to a big-tittied broad on a fucking machine gun.
Right, no.
Upper, you know?
No, you know, definitely not. There's
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah, we'll just...
About that. When that tattoo artist is cutting open your skin with that needle device and breaking open your blood vessels, you are automatically making a blood covenant with a demon. And matter of fact, that demon...
What if it is a Jesus tattoo, though? What would he say then?
Then you're making a blood covenant with a false Jesus.
And a hand is going to come out of your mouth and grab your forehead. That's how that's going to work.
That doesn't really even seem all that bad, you know? I mean, like, really, grabbing your forehead would be the lesser concern with the forearm blocking your airway, you know? That would be the bigger, like, oh, shit, I can't breathe. The hand grabbing you, that's just insult to injury, really. And what about the people who have multiple tattoos? I mean, like, does that mean you have many covenants with many different demons? What if you make contradicting covenants to separate demons? I mean, you know, when you die and go to hell, do different demons be like, hey, he had my tattoo first? And it's like, well, no, my tattoo's bigger, so he's my bitch. You know, I mean, it just seems like...
It's basically like being the demon equivalent of a fucking politician, basically.
Right, so I mean, really, you should get it. If you know you're going to hell anyway, you should get as many tattoos as possible to as many different demons as possible, so that when you get there, they're too busy fighting over you to actually torture you. So
yeah,
is getting ready to invade you because you made a blood covenant with that demon through that.
Did he say a butt covenant?
A butt covenant.
You made a butt covenant.
I'd make a butt covenant with a demon.
I know you would.
Tattoo artist. That demon caused you or influenced you to get that tattoo in the first place.
Okay, he's showing a lot of really evil-looking tattoos and shit. So is there like a predator demon? Is that what he's saying? Because I'm seeing Predator's face here. So if you go to hell, there's actually like a real predator that's like,
you made a blood covenant with me.
So what if you're just a girl that gets like a tattoo of a butterfly or something? Is there like a butterfly demon down in hell?
People will get like a portrait of their baby tattooed on them.
So is there like a baby? Is there like a your baby demon?
Yeah.
That's down in hell, just like, mwahaha, you fell for it. Stupid mortal.
So a lot of times when people get tattoos, they think that they're the ones who, you know, have this ideal about getting a tattoo, you know, on their body. When in actuality, it was a demonic influence that caused them to do that. Now, either that demonic influence was already in them, or the demonic force was just came upon them and whispered in their ear, whispered in their mind, gave them a vision, or however that demon.
Is that how it happens? Jesus
yeah,
Christ, like,
that's the real reason people get tattoos.
And here I thought I had $50 to burn, right?
Right.
Nope, demons.
But when you put that tattoo on your body, you are basically making a blood covenant with that demon, and that demon has every right to invade you.
Neat.
Now, what's in tattoo ink?
Ink.
I'm afraid to hear what he's about to say.
It's probably going to be some kind of mind control substance or something.
Demon blood.
As I said
yep.
earlier, when that tattoo artist is drilling that needle into your skin and breaking open your blood vessels, that ink is actually getting into your bloodstream.
Yeah, okay.
I actually did some research on what's actually in the tattoo ink, and I found out it's heavy metal elements. And those heavy metals include mercury, which is found in the red.
No.
Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
No, I'm not understanding this. And secondly, like, why is this guy whispering? And, like, he's, like, 2 inches from the mic and he's whispering like he doesn't want to wake up his mom in the adjacent room or something.
It kind of reminds me of that guy who was upset with you, TJ, because you make fun of the vigilant Christian, and he's like making out with his pillow practically.
That was very strange.
So you, TJ, and he's got like his lips up against his pillow. He's like, TJ, come on, man.
He wants to make a video, but he doesn't. He not only does he not want to get out of bed, he doesn't want to even lift his head up slightly. So it's just like, I'm gonna talk with my half of my face buried in my pillow.
TJ, leave
Hey, TJ, leave the vigilant Christian alone. He's just trying to talk about his ideas, man.
He's Stallone in Cobra? Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tattoo ink.
I don't know,
And lead, which is found in the yellow, green, and white ink.
So there's mercury and lead apparently in tattoo ink.
Oh, yeah.
So, this should have been evident with all of the people dropping dead after a session of tattooing, but...
There's also uranium.
Uranium, so it's radioactive.
Enriched uranium is in tattoo ink. I think that's...
You could build like a fucking dirty bomb out of tattoo ink.
Actually, everyone who gets a tattoo becomes a de facto atomic bomb.
Yep.
And actually, the government can detonate anyone with a tattoo at any time they want to. This technology has not been divulged to the general public, but I've done some research, and I've discovered this to be true.
I see. Are you going to share the research with us?
I just did. I've done research. What more do you need?
Well,
I see.
And if you know anything
Please
about
direct
mercury
all
and
further
lead,
questions to my
they
PR
basically
representative.
They're very poisonous to our bloodstream. And see, this is the really big one down here. The other element that's found in tattoo ink is arsenic.
Satonian.
And if that sounds very...
Bullshittium. That's what I'm...
Bullshittium.
Arsenic. Tattoo ink is filled with mercury, lead, and arsenic.
And why are people not dropping dead?
I like. Do we want to go further and be like, oh, there's also cyanide in it, and there's whatever killed that fucking bitch in Breaking Bad in it. That's in there. Every fucking dangerous. There's lava.
Lava.
Yeah. There's earthquakes. There's every bad thing. Your grandma's death. That's in there.
The Church of Gayle. Yeah.
It's all in the ink, man.
Sentient burritos with their deadly beans.
There's like evil little nanobots that just want to eat you up from the inside. They're all chilling in that ink. So think about that before you get a tattoo, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So do you want to move on to the next one?
You wanted a cute dragonfly, but you're going to get dragged to hell. Yeah.
Dragged and flown to hell.
Right. Yeah, we can move on. As insightful as this video is, I think we have to move on for the sake of fairness to our other videos.
Anyone that I don't know, guys. That was pretty much a red pill for me. I don't know.
Yeah, the wool is out from over your eyes.
You should
seen behind the curtain. You know what the wizard really is.
You should stand outside your local tattoo shop all day tomorrow and just warn people.
I think we should do that, Ben. Should be like, hey, do you know what's in tattoo ink? Arsenic
and uranium and mercury.
You know what's lead. You know what's probably in the microphone that you're fucking making out with there, stud? Like fucking plastic and fucking rat poison and apparently crack, given your goddamn argument.
Yeah. All right. So here's an odd video. It's
unlike all these very normal ones we've watched so
Megyn
far.
Kelly versus the Catholic League's Bill Donahue. Which one do you think you're going to agree with? Because you're going to disagree with one and you're going to agree with the other one.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I may disagree with both.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Because they're both horrible.
I know.
Do have ties to Al-Qaeda in Yemen and in Iraq, and officials fear they could be preparing to strike again. In the meantime, a global outpouring of support for the victims today. Courageous political cartooners continues.
They ain't plotting anymore because they're fucking dead now.
She just called them courageous, and that's where they're going to kind of...
Well, I'm talking about the attackers.
Right.
They're dead. But.
Oh, and before we went on the air, when we were kind of talking about, what's going on in France, we did mention that all of a sudden Fox News loves France.
From freedom fries to fucking Vive la France in 24 hours.
Exactly. You know, and I saw their president, the French president, Hollande, all over the news today. When he first got elected, people were like, he's a socialist, you know? And now, like, everyone seems to like him, at least so far. So
it's like how everyone liked Bush after 9/11, though.
I think they probably just didn't like France because they only get pissed about flag burning if the flag is white.
Including this, the iconic Eiffel Tower going dark tonight in honor of the victims. Well, in the hours after the murderous attack on this satire magazine yesterday, Catholic League President Bill Donahue caused his own controversy here, with a statement appearing, in the eyes of some, to blame the publisher, Stéphane Charbonnier, for his own murder, saying in part, quote, "It is too bad that he didn't understand the role he played in his tragic death. Had he not been so narcissistic, he may still be alive."
All right, so how do you feel about that quote from Bill Donahue?
Fucking raw class right there, folks. That's wow.
You know, I mean, like,
striking while the iron is hot. Why not just piss on his corpse?
You know what? I mean, like, look, he's got a point, because if you're gonna use your freedom of speech, then you have to accept the possibility that some crazy people are gonna come kill you for daring to draw cartoons that insult their beliefs. And you know, we should just all expect that and accept that as the status quo, and anyone who doesn't is Islamophobic.
Naturally.
And the questions to Bill have not stopped since then. Joining me now, Bill Donahue. Bill, good to see you.
Oh, by the way,
my question to Bill is, why are you such a dipshit?
But before we go into this, actually, I want to bring up something that I noticed earlier. You had reposted an old video of yours, TJ, where you burnt the Quran.
Sure.
I couldn't even view it on a mobile device.
Really?
Earlier. Yeah, it's like blocked from being viewed on a mobile device.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it, but when I go into it, it's like restricted, basically.
Yeah. It also, if you try to go on YouTube proper, it does make you sign in. It's like it has got an 18+ warning on it.
It's weird. Anyway, we'll
I also burned the Bible and the God delusion in that video. So.
Tonight.
Thank you.
And I saw you rolling your eyes when we talked about the courage of the satirists who were murdered. I know obviously you disagree with their message, because it must be said that they were equal opportunity offenders. They didn't just hit Islam, they hit Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism, you name it, as satirists will do. So I understand you didn't like the message. Do you really think they were not courageous in the face of death threats to be...
How do you feel about that? Do you feel that it was courageous? That word gets thrown around a lot.
Well, considering that the offices of the newspaper were firebombed in 2011.
Yeah, I would say they have balls the size of Alpha Centauri, honestly.
I mean, you know,
I mean that is impressive personally, because a lot of people would have dove under a fucking desk.
Right. I think that it's very easy to be... I mean, like, look at all the major networks who refuse to even reprint the materials that these guys drew, and they will put, you know, censor bubbles and stuff over them. New
York Post reposted the picture of them holding the cartoon and blurred out the fucking image.
Right. So I mean, like, if you look at how cowardly so much of the mainstream media is, I think you can't help but look at their example and say, well, these guys are obviously more courageous, because, you know, they're not only are they willing to accept the possibility of an attack, they've actually been attacked before and are still doing this. So obviously they very strongly believed in their right to do what they were doing and actually had some passion about it.
Well, here's Bill Donahue's take on that.
Unlike that fucking stupid bitch Anita Sarkeesian, I should add, who as soon as she's threatened by anybody folds like a goddamn lawn chair. Not that that has anything to do with this, but I just want to put out there again that she's a coward.
Publishing what they did?
No. I think, first of all, they're pornographers disguised as satirists. We're not talking about Mel Brooks. We're talking about the functional equivalent of Larry Flint going to print.
So?
Okay, but let me just stop you there.
So it's okay to kill Larry Flint? Like, what the firebomb him?
So does he agree with the person who shot Larry Flint?
Yeah,
and also
probably.
wasn't... Larry Flint's been through the United States legal system on more than one occasion. There's even a fucking movie. It's not, obviously a movie is not, you know, to be taken as
the Woody
historical.
Harrelson one?
Yeah, it's not to be taken as historical record, of course. But I mean, like it exists to depict the fact that we did face an impasse where we're like, is this covered under freedom of speech? And we categorically decided yes, it is. So to use Larry Flynt as an example is just ignorant, because that battle already happened, and our legal system found in favor of Larry Flynt. And I think that the majority of people, I would hope, would side with Larry Flynt if they're presented with both sides of the free speech argument. So that's a terrible example. And it basically he's basically like, if he's going to criticize these guys and saying, well, they had a hand in their own death, then he's basically saying that violence like this really is tolerable and they brought it upon themselves.
Larry Flynt himself was upheld his right,
Absolutely.
his embodiment
Well,
of
there
the
you go.
First Amendment itself was specifically recognized by the U.S. Supreme Court.
That's exactly right. And I will make the point, I've made it my whole life, I'll make it again tonight. People have a legal right to insult my religion or somebody else's. They don't have a moral right to do so. People are looking at this in a
I'm sorry, that's a meaningless distinction. Right. Morality is subjective. Your morality might not be the same as someone else's. To say,
it's not even subjective. It's completely fucking. This entire discussion is happening in a legal context. So why the fuck even bring that up?
Right. I mean, it's just. I mean, like, it's meaningless. It's basically just the equivalent of saying, "Yeah, that's the rule," but I feel otherwise.
Kind of sounds like you're agreeing with Megyn Kelly, TJ.
You know what else the Catholic Church frowns on? Fucking murder. How about you talk about that, asshole? Like, fucking opening fire in the middle of the street and murdering cartoonists. They're probably not big on that.
Yeah, I think that's probably higher on their list of stuff to be against, but much lower than the child rape, though, unfortunately.
He's the only person I've ever actually seen that's a member of the Catholic League. I'm almost convinced that he's the only member.
It's kind of like the insane clown posse. When
there's only two of them.
They're not really big enough to be a posse, and he's not really big enough to be a league.
Exactly.
But the name is still the same.
They should get together and collaborate,
The Catholic League Clown Posse.
The insane Catholic League Clown Posse.
Wait, aren't ICP? They're down with JC, aren't they? They came out as Christian or something some years back.
The carnival is God. Yeah.
Oh God.
Fuck way. They're saying, well, the only issue on the table is the right of these people to do whatever they want. No, it isn't. First of all, freedom of speech is not an end. It's a means toward an end.
No, it's also an end. It's also.
I don't even. That's
Megyn Kelly is actually a lawyer.
That's gibberish.
Yeah, this is like one thing that she can actually argue.
I guess I am forced to agree with Megyn Kelly, but I mean, I wish I didn't.
Right,
because she is an idiot in her own right. But
well, come on, freaking Ray Charles could see through this guy's argument. It's fucking.
Of course. We go for the low hanging fruit here on the Drunken Peasants. I mean, like, we're not typically like going against people that, we disagree with this person, but they present their argument in a very intellectual way that really makes you think. That's not usually what we're going after.
Not usually.
We're usually going after, like, this person is a complete moron, and even a fucking, mental invalid could tear their argument apart with ease. But unfortunately, this guy is someone who, I guess, enough people listen to him that he can go on TV and spout his bullshit, and people care. So, yay, America.
The very freedom.
That's certainly not the understanding of Madison.
Yes, listen.
No.
I quote from the U.S. Supreme Court. In fact, here, you know what I'm quoting to you from? Hustler Magazine and Larry Flynt versus Jerry Falwell. This is the Supreme Court case in 1988. The freedom to speak one's mind is not only an aspect of individual liberty and thus a good unto itself. They recognize that the actual ability to speak, to say these things, is a good unto itself, but is also essential to the common quest for truth and the vitality of society.
Right, and 6 is
communism. Yeah. That's communist ideals if I ever damn heard them.
Every time I see Megyn Kelly, I'm reminded of the day after the last president, or the night of the last presidential election. Karl Rove's like, Megyn, get your sweet ass back there and make sure that Obama won. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I do. I kind of find it funny how they're like these big champions of freedom of speech all of a sudden.
Right.
But because I mean, there's definitely been instances where Fox News was not on the side of freedom of speech. I remember quite a few. I remember this was maybe an older example, but I remember when the Dixie Chicks said some unflattering things about George Bush in a foreign country. A lot of people on Fox News were advocating that, you know, some sort of censorship occur.
Treason!
You know, they'd be charged with treason or sedition.
They denigrated our president on foreign soil.
And charge him with fucking writing shitty music. Fucking, never mind the freedom of speech.
If that was a crime, then the entire music industry would just be nuked. They'd probably get a new cocky. So.
A new cocky. Yep.
6 years earlier, in 1982, in New York versus Ferber, my favorite group, the American Civil Liberties Union, argued that child pornography was freedom of speech. I would prefer the Madisonian understanding, which also says this: liberty can be lost by the abuse of power.
That's irrelevant because it's not like the Supreme Court found that child pornography was freedom of speech. Someone argued that. There was a legal argument made. It wasn't accepted. So that's just, who cares? I'm sure that any number of legal arguments have been made throughout history.
Well, you can understand why a member of the Catholic League would jump right to child porn. But
yeah,
anyways.
that's true. You know, you'd think you'd almost feel like he'd be on the opposite side of that issue. You know, the Supreme Court still refuses to respect my right to look at children getting banged in the asshole. Why? It's an unjust country.
But also by the abuses of liberty. Self-censorship is the friend of freedom. Because if we don't have self-censorship, we're going to have individuals interpret their rights.
I feel like that could be, that's almost like a jacket quote from like a book extolling the virtues of fascism.
Self-censorship.
Self-censorship is, what is it, the foundation of liberty or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, somewhere down around the 7th rung of hell, fucking Goebbels is giving a standing ovation.
Yeah!
Extreme fashion. Bill, that leads to basically a license at that point.
People have accused you of blaming the victim that this is the equivalent of blaming a rape victim for being dressed too provocatively, saying that she brought it upon herself. No. Just because they did something provocative doesn't mean they invited what happened.
There's a difference between a justification and an explanation. I'm trying to explain the totality of what's going on here. I've made it very clear
Why is that relevant?
Well, if a woman has been beaten by her husband for 20 years and one day she goes out and she blows his brains out, I think we're going to say she's a murderer and we ought to try her. On the other hand, any sensible person would say, what are we going to look at this whole issue here?
Yeah, so this guy's a piece of shit. Every time they have him on, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, why the fuck is this dude on the news? You know,
and he's on constantly.
Yeah, he's on all the time. I remember when they were talking about same-sex marriage, he was like, marriage isn't about being in love. It's like, what? Yeah. So, actually, here's another one where you're gonna hate me. You're gonna fucking hate me. Here's a clip where you may end up agreeing with Sean Hannity.
I don't like that.
Oh, fuck.
You got everything you need from me?
Yeah, can I step out?
Yeah, I guess so, TJ.
I gotta go for a minute, folks. Be right back.
I'm not gonna play the clip. I'll tell you what. Let's just take a quick break. If that's okay with you, Razorfist.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, feel free to just mute yourself, and we'll play our music, and you'll hear us when we come back. It'll probably be like 10, 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
All right. We will be back, everybody.
Downtown, hobo on the ground, says he got a probe. No, I got my chode, but no, that's sick. If I want a dick, I can get a dick. And I like the metal stick with a little drip drip. Without the knob on the top and all the stickiness. And I know the satisfaction of a man, don't get me wrong. Wires the eyes and baby doesn't turn me on. Like when a man tries to beat me, take off my hobo clothes and then he tries to feed me. Cracking them out, put in the mouth, sexual this out, make scream out. Then I'll be the hobo unit friends. Talk about standing in the street, getting bent over a vent. Looking forward to the probing experience. Get the move, dude, use it for the back in action. Stick it in and watch the hobo's ass contraction. Hobo, 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 hobo. Anal, 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 probing. Probing, 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 probing. Hobo, anal, probing. Chillin' at home, watching the tube, sorting a boner for the killing of the hobos in the vicinity of the phone. Feeling good, looking out the window. Looking down the alley for a dirty old hobo. Yeah, I like the anal probing, shoving like the dirty dozen. Says the ladies in the dress, baby's mama said it's cause it make me feel like a hobo. Tie me down for anal probing, tossing over with blood running out my ass. You think it's funny? Take a look, you fucking bust you in the nuts like you're my lover. Fucking dirty hobo dick, it's saucy like the sucker drip. Think twice about your trip, the hobo probing confidence. Building up the mean or something, lonely, quite just fucking hobo, 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 anal, 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 probing, 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 hobo, anal, probing. Fuck that, I ain't no tool, bitch. I'm a hobo with two motherfucking fists. And feel that rim shot, big cock in your mouth, fuck, thinking master the anal fuck. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Hobo, 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 hobo. Anal, 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 anal. Probing, 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 probing. Hobo, anal, probing. Tell me how to eat it right, how to take the flavor. All night with my peaches and cream on my body, I dream of you, girl. Tell me how to treat it right. I lick your pussy all night, and I am policing dreams with my face in your cream, with details to come. And I believe with your pussy, and I believe your pussy clean. Tell me that you'll be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I want you to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my cock like a whore and never stop. Never stop. Never stop. Tell me how to stick it right, how to poke you in the funky and feel tight, with my dick clean from your mouth servicing. Let's go, girl. And I believe when your pussy, and I will scream when your pussy. Tell me that you'll be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I want you to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my you to break your gun. You know I'll rape my window till the moon is undone. You know I'll rape my back, go down and scream and take them outside and see me while kids are making playing in the sun. Well, I got my rights, I pay my bills, I got my know-how. When I never like to get my hands dirty, I got it all figured out. When I never play out the game with a chick, got to change that bring me neither rich fucking no fame. Because I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Thinking I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Going to parties all night, the gates of our room fight. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah.
All right, we are back.
No.
Let's see. I'll put him up on there too. Yay! He turned his cam on, so.
Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't realize I didn't have a video feed until now. So now you can all gaze at my gorgeous face.
Revel in the beauty of Razorfist.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so here's the video where you may agree with Sean Hannity.
I don't like
TJ.
it. No. Don't do this to me. Ow.
Welcome back to Hannity. At least 12 people are dead following a horrific
Terrace
terror
in
attack
Terror.
against a satirical newspaper in Paris, France. Now, the attack, carried out by heavily armed, hooded gunmen, appears to have been in reaction to that paper's depiction of the Muslim prophet Muhammad. And radical London imam, a guy by the name of Imam Chowdhury, Anjem Chowdhury, took to Twitter after the slaughter, tweeting...
You made that up. You made that up, Sean.
Chowdhury?
Chowdhury.
So shouldn't he be like an imam in New England or something like that?
Ah, I see. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Quote, freedom of expression does not extend to insulting the prophets of Allah, whatever your views on the events in Paris today are. Hashtag Paris shooting. He also tweeted, Muslims love the messenger Muhammad more than their parents, children, even themselves. Why don't people understand? Here now to explain his comments is London Imam Anjem Chowdhury is with us.
Chowdhury.
He looks very
We're gonna
chowdery.
be making chowder jokes this entire segment, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah,
Been
behind
waiting
me's
to
the
break out those New England clam chowder fucking jokes.
behind
No
me's
idea.
the River Thames. Lots of good clams in there. You know.
He's a real chowder head. Ha ha ha.
You sound like you basically support what happened today.
No, what I'm saying is that these things need to be put into context. We're talking about a French government who have banned the burqa. They refuse Muslims to build mosques now in Paris. They are engaged in occupation of Muslim land and even killing Muslims now in Syria and Iraq. And on top of that, they allow people to...
Oh my God. Okay.
insult the prophet.
All
You're
of which is cause to kill cartoonists, right?
Right. You know, you have to look at it in the context. There's all these complex geopolitical events happening. Therefore, these cartoonist lives were really, you know, they were gambling with their lives when they drew them cartoons. Unfortunately, they were. And they lost. But it shouldn't have been a gamble.
And here comes Sean Hannity's rebuttal. You ready, TJ?
I might just have to become a radical Muslim just to disagree with this.
Slaughtered a newspaper, a satirical newspaper that makes fun of the Pope and makes fun of Catholics and all religions and politicians and everybody. But you do have in France many no-go zones where non-Muslims are not allowed to go and police and fire departments are not allowed to go. And you do have Sharia courts in those areas. So your characterization is not exactly accurate about the treatment of Muslims in France.
I don't know anything about French policy in this regard. So,
well,
I think that
France has recently kind of buckled down a little bit on Islam because they've had a lot of extremists. I know you're going to be shocked by this revelation, but there have been a lot of Muslim extremists in France lately.
Racist!
I know.
Ryan Wiley would be so offended right now.
Pointing that out really is one of the most intolerant things I've ever heard.
Yep.
You know? I feel
you can really
like
understand because all of them want to have the dinner date with the 72 versions.
You're a racist, and
which,
you
by
hate
the way,
Muslims.
Ahmed, pro tip here, pal. If you want to commune with 72 virgins, tickets to San Diego Comic-Con run $20 a pop. Sell your goat, go to Valhalla.
The landscape in Europe has in fact shifted. As you know, many right-wing organizations are now allowed to espouse their own anti-Islamic ideas very openly.
I'm sorry, why shouldn't anyone be able to spout anti-Islamic ideas if they want to? You're allowed to spout Islamic ideas. Why shouldn't people be allowed to spout anti-Islamic ideas? I mean, like, there's plenty of groups of people I disagree with, but I've never been like, oh, well, I hope that, okay, well, I may have said I hope they get killed or something. But if some of them actually did, I wouldn't be sitting there like, well, they deserved it because they said the wrong thing and they really offended my beliefs. So, therefore, their lives were forfeit and they deserve to die.
That's how that works. You didn't know that's how that works? Fuck.
Yeah, TJ.
I didn't get the memo. I was late to the party.
I knock over a bitch over a bad game of checkers. That's how that works.
In places like France, which are very anti-Islam and anti-Muslims.
Yeah, so what you're basically saying, so what you're basically saying is freedom of expression does not extend to insulting the prophets of Allah, whatever your views on what happened in Paris. So you're saying you do not believe in freedom of speech, you don't believe in freedom of religion, you don't believe in freedom of expression, you believe in Islamic fascism.
I think that's maybe he's taken it a little far, but that's really not too much of an exaggeration.
Right.
I gotta say, I'll go one step further. I completely agree with him. It is essentially a fascist principle.
I would agree that combined with a few other things would be Islamic fascism. It's certainly a step in that direction.
Yeah, fair enough.
That people must abide by your laws.
Actually, as a Muslim, we believe that sovereignty and supremacy belongs to God, and therefore we believe in submitting to the commands of God.
Oh, wow. That's so fucking meaningless. Anyone can say, oh, well, we defer to God, but then how do you decide what God's will is here on earth? Well, we've got this book that tells us, and then we've got these people who interpret it for us.
God said everyone should just give me money.
Right, how many fucked up things have happened in the name of someone saying, this is what God wants? I mean, even Hitler said that, for fuck's sake. Anyone can say that. Anybody can cloak whatever fucked up ideology or attitude they have and say, well, that's just what God wants. I mean, that's what the homophobes...
God wants you to blow me. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's what the homophobic crowd in America says all the time anyway. It's like, oh, I'm not against these fucking disgusting faggots. It's God. God's really the one who has the problem. He doesn't like it. He created the universe in all of its complexity and splendor, but what he's really concerned about is male dicks and male asses. That's like the big thing on his agenda at any given moment. Like, fuck.
The crazy bit that I can't stand is when they combine... Like, they'll even combine things like transgenderism. We were talking about this earlier. I should have chimed in then with that. But freaking Christians who believe in transgenderism believe that God just put the wrong soul in the wrong body. Which is like, okay, so you believe God can create the heavens and the universe in 7 days and create a perfect solar system and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to putting souls in bodies, God's just a total drunken fucker. He was on a meth bender.
Well, I mean, like, what about all like the fucking severe and crippling and sometimes deadly deformities that people have? You know, you'd have to say, oh, well, that was part of God's plan. It was God's plan that this baby be born inside out and then it suffer for a few days and then die in horrible fucking pain. That was part of his grand and brilliant design for the cosmos.
It was a divine mulligan. That's all it was.
Mulligan.
It was just like, well, you know, there's always outliers even in the best system. Come on.
Oh, you're demanding everybody else submit to what you believe.
No.
And it should be illegal to.
What we say is
that's what you said. You said freedom of expression.
What we say is that.
Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead.
Well, what we say is that freedom of expression has a responsibility by those people who espouse it in the West, in particular non-Muslims. But as you know, it is, changed. It is curtailed for things like incitement and hatred. And as you know, you have laws which allow, the curtailment of freedom of expression for your own national security.
So you're saying that.
I mean, in Islam, it's not only that God is pissed off by butt sex, but just drawing a picture of his prophet is like,
not
a
wearing
capital
a scarf
offense.
the right way. I mean, this
Right.
is they're throwing acid on women in fucking Iran for not wearing their headscarves in a modest enough fashion.
You're showing too much hair, damn it.
Too much cheek.
Yeah.
Shit.
I got what you're saying. So you're saying anything offensive.
I almost saw a nostril. Burn that bitch at the
and you believe
stake.
that should be worldwide. Every country should adopt that law.
Well, you need to understand that in Islam, this carries capital punishment. And we saw before with Theo Van Gogh and Salman Rushdie.
But you're not answering. You're saying that
the
every
people
country
should be aware about this already.
But every country should adopt that, and it's convert or die. It's either you agree with us, or we will go into your newspaper and we will slaughter you. We will put a fatwa out on you.
I want to know, I don't know anything about this imam here, but why does he live in Western society if he has these views? Wouldn't he feel more comfortable living in Saudi Arabia or something like that?
And how about the earth-crippling irony of the
he's
fact
actually
that he wouldn't,
too liberal
he wouldn't
for
even
Saudi
be able
Arabia.
to say any of this if not for the Western society and the lack of Sharia law.
Exactly. I don't know.
I do like his beard, though.
What we're saying is that, a quarter of the world's population revere the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And, for them, they'll prefer to die themselves than to allow anyone to insult the Prophet. Now, people in the West should understand
that's not even true. There was, one of the cops that died in that attack was actually Muslim. And he wasn't fighting to avenge his prophet for someone daring to depict him in an unflattering light. He died protecting the people who were doing the satire. So this idea Muslims can't possibly tolerate this. It's just not true. Anybody in a free and open society has to be willing to tolerate mockery of whoever they are. No one gets a free pass. No one gets to mock you because you're this special, delicate snowflake that we can't possibly. You're just too special and too magnificent and too unique. We can't possibly trample on you. You don't get to just.
Pretty much everyone that we've railed against on today's show, it pretty much fits that description, incidentally.
Well, right. I mean, because it's a prevalent attitude among many different groups of human beings. Yeah. It's like, oh well, I have this belief, and it should be treated specially and sacredly because it's such a cherished belief of mine. It's like I don't give a fuck what you cherish. I don't cherish it, and I should be able to explain why I don't cherish it, and I should be able to say that people who do cherish it are fucking stupid. And if you want to turn around and say people who don't cherish it are stupid, then be my fucking guest. I'm not gonna kill you or prevent take any fucking course of action that's gonna try to inhibit your freedom of speech. But it's like they can't return the favor. They just think, oh well, our freedom of speech is assured, but everyone else is kind of suspect.
We live in a very unstable and insecure world today, which you can see very well now in Paris, what the consequences of insulting the Prophet are. And what we're saying is that the sensibilities and the emotions of Muslims must be taken into consideration in the context in which we live today.
We have to take the emotional sensibilities of this ragtag group of wanton murderers into account. How dare we be so insensitive as to not consider their precious fucking feelings before making those cartoons, which really left them no alternative but to kill those people, if you really think about it.
Yeah, and those Jews should really consider the feelings of the SS. That's really what needs to happen there. It's essentially like the blueprint for totalitarianism, is essentially this entire thought process. It is. It's basically curtail what you're going to say, because if you don't, well, here's a fucking AK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Questions and get answers.
Actually, it was a sniper
really
gun.
And he's basically just treating attacks like this as like, oh, well, this is just the natural consequence of the West's insistence that they deserve the right to be critical of Islam. It's like, well, give us some evidence. Like, what is your evidence other than it hurts our feelings that we shouldn't be allowed to do this? Like, is there any rational basis for that line of thinking, or is it just, no, it hurts our feelings, so stop? I don't have to stop saying something that I think is true just because, you find it uncomfortable.
So do you agree with Sean Hannity, TJ?
No, I still disagree with him. Even if I'm saying the exact same thing as he is, he's still wrong and an asshole.
Next, I have a video with Bill O'Reilly that TJ... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
I was going to say, what is this, Jon Stewart? We're just going to play Fox News clips now and react to them?
No, actually, we're getting towards the part of our show where we watch stupid ads with horribly useless products and then try to guess how much they cost at the end. So that's what we're going to do.
All right, let's make that happen. As seen on TV.
Don't be nervous, darling. I'm sure Billy's parents will like us. Oh, this is so exciting! Meeting the parents of the boy you're going to marry.
Where's Dad?
I'm in the bathroom.
I imagine, this is weird. I'm in the bathroom, sweetheart.
Everyone sings.
Oh, he's going to stink up the hole.
Don't worry, darling. We've got perfume.
Perfume.
Introducing Perfume, the before spray that prevents that repellent smell from escaping and eliminates those nasty toilet odors. With Perfume, no one will know when you go.
Didn't we review a product that was almost identical to
Yes.
this called like Poo-Pourri or something like that?
Yep. And it also had English people in the commercial, or at least people.
English people really like poo puns in their poo sprays.
Apparently.
Well, if you had to eat English food, you would too. Continue.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've been there.
In the words of Bill Hicks, you don't boil pizza.
I don't know if they're going to show us. I don't know if they're going to show us the price for this one, but
Perfume is the before spray.
Hopefully they'll show
everyone
us a
needs.
big turd, though.
Simply spritz the bowl before you go.
Uh-huh.
Perfume's special blend of natural essential oils immediately creates a film-like layer on the surface of the water. When you've done what you came to do, this layer acts as
So wait, hold on. They're gonna call their product Poo-Fume, but then get all coy when it comes to describing the process of taking a shit.
Well, it's all about modesty, you see.
Couldn't they just be like, when you poo, since they're already using that word in the fucking product name anyway? I mean...
After you pinch a righteous loaf, then...
protective barrier that traps those embarrassing smells under the water.
The smells are just desperately trying to get out.
Is then released. Your toilet will smell nice and fresh even though you just went. Say goodbye to air fresheners and their harsh, toxic chemicals. They just mask the smell anyway. Perfume's super concentrated aromatherapy magic prevents toilet odors from ever showing up at home.
I don't
at
understand
work,
why he was spraying the camera. Did the camera smell like feces?
he just took a shit in the camera.
The camera was full of shit.
He was
I
like,
think the commercial
what's
is
up?
self-aware.
Yep.
I think the commercial knows that it's full of shit and is trying to keep the shit
The
from...
commercial has almost reached sentience.
Almost.
Yep.
It's almost like that taco and burrito that Gayle saved us from.
or wherever you go. Perfume is the natural odor eliminator. It's the before spray every bathroom needs.
What I like most about perfume
It's natural.
It's this lovely,
it actually
discreet...
occurs in nature. There's a perfume plant where they get the extract, and that's like how this happens. It's nature. It's nature, folks.
but witty product that really works.
I love perfume. It comes in so handy for all our family members, including
I
me.
wonder if
Call or visit Perfume.
I wonder if that woman, knew before that one day she would utter the phrase "I love perfume."
Yeah.
It's like when she started her acting career. Like, I think the real brass ring is when I'm discussing feces openly in a commercial.
It's $10, Ben.
Yeah, here it is. $10 plus shipping and handling.
It's strange that it's in dollars because I thought it was an English commercial.
Well, yeah,
but
all the people in the commercial except for the narrator or whatever the fuck he was.
Oh, that's true. The narrator was American.
Yeah. I don't know.
They probably just recycled a commercial from England, I guess.
Just like all their TV shows.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Steal that shit.
Yeah.
We steal it and then we Americanize it.
Yeah,
we throw
basically.
more tits and crying into it.
Yeah. All right, next one. This is called the Better Marriage Blanket.
I'm not even going to venture a guess.
It's the problem in the marriage bed that no one likes to talk about. Maybe that's why they call it silent but deadly.
Okay.
Well, now there's a real solution to a very real problem. Introducing the Better Marriage Blanket. On the outside, the Better Marriage Blanket looks and feels just like a soft, warm
way to
comfort.
name your product. Like
Yeah.
why not just come right out with it? The bustin' ass blanket or the
But on the inside, it contains a layer of activated carbon fabric, the same type of fabric used by the military to protect against chemical weapons.
Wow.
Molecules
To protect against chemical weapons.
What? What?
The Better
What a
Marriage
great
Blanket.
anniversary gift. Honey, I got something that's used against weaponized hallucinogens.
Just in case anyone sprays Agent Orange in here, we're covered.
easily pass through the cotton shell and are harmlessly absorbed into the layer of carbon fabric, even when used on top of bed.
All of your farts are just trapped in the blanket.
I know,
forever.
you could Dutch oven someone so badly.
It's like, this is a blanket that's just filled with my farts. There's 13 years of farts just trapped in this blanket. This is like fart purgatory. They're just stuck in there.
Sheets. Offending molecules are absorbed before anyone knows they're there. So whether you or your spouse suffers from a health issue or just the occasional disagreeable meal, you owe it to your marriage to try the Better Marriage Blanket. It makes a great wedding gift or anniversary gift too. To order, call 1-800-981-11.
So it's $39.95.
Just think how many marriages could have been saved.
No, it's 3 payments at $39.95. Holy fuck!
It's worth it, Ben. You know, it's worth
What would
it.
you pay for a better marriage? Come on.
You know, are you saying your wife isn't worth a mere, what is that? 80, 90, 100, 120.
The next one is Twist Away Hair Removal.
$120, Ben, to save your marriage. That's all you got to do. Buy the Better Marriage Blanket. I thought it was going to be a blanket with like dildos.
Tired of embarrassing facial hair? But waxing hurts. And don't even think about using a razor. Now there's Twist Away, the all-new way to remove unwanted hair and peach fuzz. Watch. Just bend Twist Away and twist away the hair. It's so fast you barely even feel it. And look, even the smallest, finest hairs are removed from the root and trapped within the springs. Your skin is left silky smooth.
I don't see how you're it's still pulling the hair out. I don't see how you're barely gonna feel it.
It's like a fucking spring.
After the first 3 top layers of skin are removed, you hardly feel a thing.
You'll get a callus eventually.
I mean, but like with the wax, it's like, okay, that's just one motion where it comes off. This thing like slowly like twists the hairs off. Like you barely feel it. It doesn't make sense. Like it just doesn't seem rationally possible. You're pulling out hairs. It's gonna hurt.
soft. Lasers hurt. Electrolysis is expensive. But Twist Away is the best way to make lip hair and chin hair disappear. The secret is Twist Away's precision technology, which gently removes hair from the root for lasting results. Twist Away even works.
Ow,
does that
fuck,
look?
it hurt.
Does that look gentle to anybody?
I know,
That
like
looks-
They use the word gently, but then I'm looking at a very violent image on the screen.
Right. One time I got like some of my whiskers caught on a fucking on the zipper of my jacket, and I almost cried. It was like that bad.
This is
the fuck.
This is that made into a product. I mean, you notice that like this is not something you can see sold in the stores. This is not something you've ever seen or heard of anyone using, and there's a reason for that. This is like the one-time sucker product where
basically what I'm getting from this is, hey gang, do you like waxing? Yeah, well, add jagged metal. How about that?
Works on superfine cheek hair. It removes all the hair in one twist from the root, so your hair will grow back slower and finer every time. It's the fastest, easiest way to eliminate lip hair.
This really works. It really moved hair off my chin without any pain. It's great.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. That's very cool. Look how much hair comes off of it.
Okay.
I believe these women. Apparently it does not hurt at all, so. $20.
Hold on, yeah, that's a free.
I know it's a $20 value. That little mirror is a $20 value.
Yeah, gotta find the price.
It's a $15.
That's a free gift.
Man, if they're charging $20 for a compact, it better turn me into Sailor Moon.
It's like I guess they're giving free gifts. So it's like so the product itself is $14.99. It looks like they included some other
Fast, easy, and virtually pain-free.
Gifts here,
We'll
right.
also send you the quick dry hair wrap to keep hair away from your face. But call right now.
Also
and
known
we'll
as a
double your
towel.
Order. Just pay separate shipping and handling. But wait, we'll also send you our
So you get two of these shitty hair springs.
Yeah.
And then you get a hair wrap and
a little mirror.
Hair
Yep.
wrap. I love how they have all these like exciting nicknames for completely innocuous objects. Like a towel is a hair wrap, and what is this
Yeah.
compact? Like a reflection device? Like what are
It's your communicator to communicate with the Church of Gayle as it soars through the universe.
I did 5-time magnification mirror, a $20 value, absolutely free. If this isn't
Wow.
the best hair remover you've ever used,
You'd be
send it back for a
stupid
full
not to
refund
buy
of the
this
purchase
product.
price. And keep the mirror just for trying. You get it all.
Wow, I
2
get the
twist
mirror
aways,
for
2
free.
hair wraps, and 5-time magnification mirror, a $60 value for only $14.99.
Holy shit. Deals like this don't come along every day, guys.
Yeah, but the free bonus gift is searing pain, unfortunately. Wow.
It doesn't hurt at all. Didn't you see the street interviews?
That's true. Incidentally, it was interesting that even though she's using this device, she couldn't fix that unibrow that she had going on.
Oh, that's low.
The next product is called the Slender Shaper.
Yay.
So it's a girdle.
Glorified girdle. Let's see.
Are you tired of having flabby abs, jiggling
Yeah.
underarms, and
Yep.
sagging buns? The revolutionary Slender Shaper can magically transform your body using its unique oscillating node to tap, vibrate, and massage while you relax. Its highly advanced computer system.
It's like
It's yet another weight loss product where you don't have to do anything and you just lose weight. We put this giant vibrating disc on your belly, and now you lost some weight and you're fit now.
Am I the only one who feels like there needs to be a looping GIF of the thing on her ass as it jangles back and forth? Like, there's an entire porn market for that. Just that alone.
Allows you to select an auto-set
Well,
workout routine.
let's get some human trafficking going, and we'll force some like Eastern European women from tragic homes to just wear that on their ass for 48 hours straight or something and film it.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah.
Or customize your own with 5 variable speeds and forward-reverse oscillating functions, as well as an
Forward-reverse
auto-shut-off timer. Just 10
oscillating
minutes a day.
functions.
The Slender Shaper is your best total body sculpting machine. We all know that having a toned and sexy body is not easy. The only way is to exercise, exercise, and exercise.
Hold on. They're
Wait,
showing us
so-
like this is exercise.
It's not easy. You have to exercise. Therefore, put a vibrating fucking panel against your skin and just turn it on and watch TV and you'll lose weight.
Yep.
I mean,
It's that easy.
I'm getting mixed messages from this commercial.
The only reason why everyone hasn't done this is because they just didn't see this commercial and they missed this special offer.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand how something vibrating against you makes you lose weight, but it's because they're just scientifically illiterate morons who fail to recognize that the slender
have you seen
shaper.
the, like, really crazy one? There's like a weird offshoot of this product that like literally fires electricity into your abs, and it causes your muscles to contract involuntarily.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
people are
and-
literally like sitting there being interviewed, like, no, it's completely comfortable. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, you have to apply this like jelly.
None of that sounds fun
Appealing at all,
or
yeah.
appealing on any level.
I don't know if I can find the price. It's Canadian anyway, so their money's worth what, like, their dollar's worth like 20 cents or something.
$2 and a pat on the ass.
Actually, their money's worth about the same as ours now.
Yeah, actually, it's about equivalent.
Yeah, back in the day though, it was totally different. All right, so I don't know.
We ain't living back in the day, Ben. No one cares about your fucking Pepperidge Farm remembers bullshit. Let's get on with the show.
All right, so let's see. This product is called the Bear Scratch.
Oh dear God.
Oh man, this is already just totally lacking.
You can
in
tell by the
promise.
music that it's going to be good.
This is like, I feel like I'm about to watch a FarmersOnly.com ad.
Oh no.
Come on. Are they really going to try to like sell the back scratcher as some revolutionary thing?
Scratch your back. It's always the wrong spot. Now
Yeah.
with Bear Scratch, you get the exact scratch where you want it. You can pay $7 for a lightweight back scratcher. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. These
Yeah,
bow
back
pin
scratchers are bullshit. Don't be oppressed by the tyranny of back scratchers, man. There's a better way.
You gotta have
not Bear Scratch.
You gotta have some cast
Okay,
iron
so wait.
balls to honestly offer an alternative to like a 25-cent back scratcher at the night. You know what I mean?
And it's one that apparently affixes to your wall so that you can't even like take it around with you. So it's like this only is helpful if your back is itchy while you're in this specific location.
It's 2.5 inches of thick material. You can own your own Bear Scratch for only $19.99. Imagine paying $7 for that wimpy one or $19 for the heavy-duty one. I'll take the heavy-duty one any day of the week. It cleans up so
And you're an
easy
unbiased third party, of
Yeah.
course, so
totally neutral.
Should trust your word.
I like how this guy is like the hillbilly. He's Hillbilly Mays. That's what he is. Hillbilly Mays.
Got a thick, hard gel coat. Just check out these super strong steel bear trap brackets. Can't find your back scratcher, huh? Well, there it is right there. That's Bear Scratch. Where is it? There it is. Where is it? It's right there. It's right here. Oh, yeah. Bear Scratch. You can't lose it.
Yeah, you can't lose it. It also doesn't travel with you. So, I mean, like, unless you're in that room, it's pretty inconvenient. Like, if you're anywhere else in your house or you're outside of your house and your back is itchy, it's not like you could be like, oh, Bear Scratcher to the rescue.
And I like how they have these like photos and they look like they were done on like a little disposable camera. And they're honestly trying to sell it like, this is so comfortable. Like they're smiling and shit. You cannot possibly look like anything other than an asshole using that apparatus.
Also, like, I mean, it's just like an ugly accessory to have in the house, like I affixed this giant ugly fucking stick to my wall so that if my back is itchy, I can just go up to it and scratch my back on the fucking bark like a bear. It's like, why don't if that's the experience you're really hungry for, just go outside and find a fucking tree.
You mean having a giant fucking log on your wall isn't feng shui? Are you sure?
I don't know.
Feng shui.
I'm just saying maybe it's not practical. Just maybe.
All right, so $19.99 plus shipping and handling. So
Totally worth
there
it.
you go.
If this was given to me for free, I would throw it in a dumpster. So I'm not paying $19.99 for it.
Here's a good one. This product isn't dangerous at all and won't, entice anyone to do anything that will end up killing someone.
Okay, that's good to know.
Hi, my name is Larry Singleton, and I want to tell you about a product I invented that you or someone you know might find useful. I'm a designer and builder in Georgia. In fact, this beautiful lake home behind me is one that I designed and...
Yeah, what the...
So is he selling the lake home? Is that what we're buying here?
No, you'll see.
Larry, let's just talk about the desk.
Okay, Joe. As a builder,
wow.
I spend a lot of time working on my truck. In fact, I'd rather be on the job site.
Jerry, let's
than
just
in the
talk
office.
about
So
the desk.
I like to carry my work with me. To make it easier to work in the truck, I developed a truly great mobile desk that fits over the steering wheel and provides a really functional workspace. Let me take you to the truck and show you what I'm talking about. It's a very simple design with a slot that allows us to put the desk over the steering wheel.
Please, no.
Bored.
Why did you have to lock the steering wheel?
So this is his invention. It's a fucking desk that you hook to your steering wheel.
It doesn't, but it's not even. It's like, it's not like you can set papers on it or anything. It's just, okay. Well, maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, please let him go
the
with
desk
the
will
sales
work
pitch.
with the steering wheel locked or unlocked, but it goes without saying that you wouldn't want to operate this vehicle with the desk in place.
Right.
The slot puts the desk at a perfect work angle.
I think the wooden board is the most natural communicator in this fucking commercial.
I'm flabbergasted that someone thinks like I cut a hole in a piece of wood. I am an inventor. It's like the bar for inventor has kind of been raised since like the wheel and fire days, just a little bit.
Thanks,
like
Edison.
I don't think that this qualifies anymore as an invention.
No, I think this is actually one of Tesla's unpublished inventions. I think this is...
Yeah. Tesla's lost diaries, The portable mobile laptop desk so that you could get work done in your truck.
While driving.
Well, he said not to use it while driving, but...
I know.
I feel
he
like
says not to use it while driving.
I feel like his target demographic might not take that to heart.
Exactly.
Sadly.
I feel like his target demographic doesn't have paperwork to do ever.
maybe it's a
if only that were true.
Maybe it's
if only while I was going on a long haul to Nebraska, I could get my taxes filed. Like, it's the target demographic.
And we have an optional clipboard clip that can be mounted on this area right here. We call this our truly great mobile desk because it is truly great.
Yes.
Lots of room for paperwork.
Truly great.
I agree.
There's a slot
It's truly great. A lot of things aspire towards greatness but don't quite get there.
There's channels on the side that'll keep
This
the pins
is
or
truly
pencils in place.
great.
Yeah,
And the holes
I
at the top
appreciate it,
are
Jabba
great
the
for
Heck.
extra items
That's
like
great.
my mobile phone or anything that I want to keep out of my way on the desk. The bottom of the desk has a lip that keeps things from sliding off.
Into that spare tire?
Well, if you have a spare tire, you might just need to raise the desk up a little bit. But the good thing about this lip is it makes this desk great for a laptop computer, which, by the way, being able to use a laptop computer while you're in a parked car is something that lots of folks need to do, and this is their solution.
You could contractors?
Well, no.
It's called a laptop. I think you could put it on your it'll come to me, but somewhere, someplace. I mean, like I have revolutionized using a laptop in your car technology. It's like, no one was clamoring.
Why the fuck would you
now
be in your car if you're not driving?
Now I've developed a breakfast bowl that you can affix to your bicycle so that you can eat cereal or macaroni and cheese while you're on the bike trail.
But don't ride it.
But don't
Don't
ride your bike while you use it, though. It's just for when you're sitting stationary on your bike and you happen to want cereal or macaroni or possibly some pasta or something.
Yeah,
or anything else you can put in a bowl.
A product that speaks to the demographic of people who are homeless, but who can somehow afford a laptop.
Yes.
Way to go.
Friendship is magic.
Not just contractors. Anybody that spends time in a car just waiting or working, from a taxi driver to a land surveyor or a traveling salesman or a soccer mom, this is their described everything about the desk that we call our contractor.
He just cut himself off mid-sentence?
Yes, he did. He interrupted him.
All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Why? I want to know how much this cost. Does it say?
Let's see.
It's almost over. Let's just play the rest.
Oh, is it towards the end?
It was. It was almost at the end.
This is more than $1.50.
I don't know if it says the price, unfortunately. Let's just see.
No.
No?
No.
Man, I'd have been willing to pay anything.
Let's see. You know, we're about 2.5 hours in. Do you just want to save?
Let's just one more ad.
We'll do one more?
One more ad, and then we'll end the show.
All right.
And we'll say
I'm
fuck
gonna pick a
off
good
to
one.
Razorfist here.
Let's see.
Avita Zane and all that bullshit.
We will do this one.
What is it?
The average American worker
The foot
spends
hammock.
6 hours a day at their desk. The
All
average
right.
gamer spends an additional 7 hours a week at their desk. The
Yep.
average under-desk temperature, a chilly 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet this is what we do with our feet during the hours and hours we spend.
Hold on. The average temperature under a desk is freezing?
Yeah. What if it's like 70 degrees inside?
I don't.
You mean to tell me that there's that big of a difference under my desk?
Hey, gang, have you ever been gaming on Hoth?
It's like-
It's pretty fucking cold.
I don't get that. It's not like what if you're in a 70-degree room, it's not 32 degrees under the desk. I mean, what did they do? Like take like possible desks like from all over the world, including Antarctica, and be like, we're just gonna average it all out. You know, it could be pretty fucking cold under that desk. It's 32 degrees on average under a desk. Because as we all know, desks are blistering ice storms incarnate that just like shower coldness down upon anything that they're up above.
At our desk. We could continue doing this, but there's a better way to sit at your desk. We call it the foot hammock. The most comfortable way to sit at your desk.
All right. So just full disclosure, I do see the appeal of having a foot hammock, but
You son of a bitch.
I mean, like, the way this product is, I mean, it's actually not a terrible product. I mean, it is, but it's being advertised all wrong. Like, basically, it should just be like, are you a lazy, degenerate piece of shit who barely even deserves to exist? Then you need the foot hammock. And then I'd be like, holy shit, finally a product for me. But instead, they're trying to deceive me with all this 32-degree shit, so I can't support that. Also, what would this even do about the temperature?
That was nice.
Oh, okay.
I think,
It's
I think the
heated.
guy
It's a
playing the
heated-
game wasn't even playing a game, actually. There was like a watermark. I think it was captured footage.
Doesn't
Incidentally.
matter. He was playing a game where the object
Yeah.
is to fight off the evil watermarks on the screen. So
Yes.
So actually this is heated. I've never felt, I mean, I don't know, maybe other people have different experiences, but usually when I'm sitting at my desk, like if anything my feet feel too hot, I want like a cooling system. But then again, I never take my shoes off, so that could be part of it.
I'm a college student and a gamer, so I spend more than my fair share of time sitting at my desk. Really more hours than
I'm
I
a
spend
college
sleeping.
student and a gamer
as
and
I
a
was sitting at my
teleprompter
desk, I
reader.
realized my feet were getting cold, my legs weren't really supported. I
Elect
wasn't
that
really
man
as
president.
comfortable as I wanted to be. As I started looking
Wait a
for better
minute, go back?
solutions, I tried a bunch of different.
Go back to that guy for a second. Seriously, just do it. Just do it, Ben. It's a little back. Further back. Just go back to him. What's going on with his neck there? Did he just try to hang himself or something?
Looks like
What did he shave with? A broken beer bottle?
It's like, what's going on there?
he used that hairspring on his beard.
Oh, there we go. We got to the bottom of the mystery. We're going full circle with that.
Wasn't really as comfortable as I wanted to be. As I started looking for better solutions, I tried a bunch of different things. I tried a cardboard box.
Nothing
that was
worked.
uncomfortable. I tried my printer. I ended up breaking that. So I got together with my roommate Brent.
So
and we
basically,
began-
you're an idiot.
Right.
if you can break a printer with your feet, I think having something to rest them on is probably the least of your worries. I think the elephantiasis in your extremities is probably your issue.
You're just jealous because he had the foot hammock before you.
I guess. This product isn't exactly geared towards me. I live in Phoenix, so my feet are actually on fire right now.
I agree. We're in cold-ass Ohio, but this room where we do the show is like a sweltering desert of a room, so...
Yeah. So that's it.
Show's fucking over. We want to thank you to our guest, Razorfist. You were a very entertaining guest.
Thank you.
And
I thought it was awesome being on with you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think you were awesome, and you were funny as fuck. And props to you. And your channel is linked in the description,
yes,
Ben? Okay.
Yes.
So if you guys liked Razorfist, be sure to go check out his channel. He does a show called Rageaholic. It's really funny. We kind of saw an example of it earlier. But, you know, he does like, what you mostly do, like gaming stuff?
Yeah, it's mostly gaming, and then I review like Dick Cheese 80s action movies, essentially.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Commando is my favorite.
I did in May. I did Death Wish month. So
that's pretty awesome. What's your favorite? Death Wish 3?
Oh, I think it's a toss-up between 3 and 4. They're both.
I
really good.
gotta go with 3. All right. Anyway, we gotta say goodbye to our friend Razorfist. Subscribe to his channel. I'm sure we'll probably have him on the show again because he was a good guest. And subscribe to our channel, not the channel you're watching this on. That's the Amazing Atheist channel. But go subscribe to our actual Drunken Peasants channel at youtube.com/Drunken Peasants. Also, if you want to help support the show, patreon.com/DP, or you could get your free audiobook. And that was kind of explained in the beginning, but that's audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants. So. That's pretty much it. Show's fucking over. Get lost. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.